So today's quote says, knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Education is the premise of progress in every society, in every family. This is by our very own Kofi Annan. Now, what I think this quote is telling us is that knowledge in any form is very, very key to our growth, whether it's informal knowledge, whether it is formal education. Any kind of education gives us power. It liberates us. It also equips us. So you know, when you acquire certain skills, you have the upper hand in any situation you're in. You know how these days our food vendors, they give us very low quality food. But if you know how to cook, of course you just cook your thing and go. So it's even education in any form gives us some amount of power. It gives us some liberation over certain situations that we could be in. Just like even in the olden days when they are fighting wars, when they go and know the terrain of their enemy's land, they are able to decide what to do to be able to attack them effectively. What do you also think about this?
So I think Kofi Annan is one prominent person in Ghana. And he believes so much in education. You could see that he attained the position of General Secretary of the UN as the first Ghanaian person to do that. So he believes in education. So his point is trying to tell us that we shouldn't only think of having the knowledge. You see, yes, when you have the knowledge, you are very powerful. When you have what you call information, you are being liberated, as you know, because currently what is happening in the economy, especially in the election year, all what we need is information. And the information we need should be concrete. When you get that concrete information, you get to know that, oh, okay, I'm going for A, I'm going for B. What this person is saying is not true, so I'm not going to fall a victim to it. So I think this quote is at the right time. And Kofi Annan is a man that we all should follow. That's what I would say.
Right. So I would also like to add that, yes, information is key, knowledge is key, but true empowerment comes from you sharing whatever knowledge you have. And so when you acquire the knowledge, you make sure that you share it for people to also get to know what you have known so that they can be liberated from whatever situation they are in. A typical example is our current pressing issue in the country, which is Galamsey, where a lot of, scholars and, the media people, everyone is talking about it, yet the people involved in the activity do not see the essence of stopping it because they don't have the information that will liberate them from that kind of situation they find themselves. So I believe that it is a quote in its right direction, and just as Kofi Annan has said, we need to make sure that our environment, our societies, everyone within that are liberated, and so we have to share that information moving forward.
Yeah, that's true. And as a media house, just like we learned about the misinformation and disinformation, and especially in the era we are in, getting close to election too, we need to liberate ourselves. Let us get very, very acquainted with knowledge so that we can sift through misinformation and disinformation so that we are able to have a more peaceful, free and fair elections come this December 7, 2024.
And I would like to add one thing on the aspect of education. There are so many forms of education. We should not just limit it to just the formal education. Informal education is also part. And so people should, acquaint themselves into getting into any form of education to help them elevate life.
Thank you so much. This has been insightful. Up next is the online and newspaper review with, of course, my very own. We will be right back.
Clog TV. Beyond the policy.
You're welcome back to the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, this is the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, and we're about to have our online and newspaper review. But before that, here's a quick shout out to, this is saying, special greetings to Banti B, watching us live from UK. This is to Banti B from one of his very, very good friends. So yes, joining me here as usual, as you know, we have Mr. Clement Yabankwe and Miss Miriam Abna Adidi. Hello.
Hello, Yara.
Yes, I know I just saw you from the motivational quote segment, but our viewers didn't. So how are we doing?
I'm so amazing, by the grace of God.
Well, I would say this far by grace, and I'm very privileged to be counted among the living this morning, because let me just go straight into my trending story. Something happened over the weekend that made me question my existence, you know, on earth. That made me question, like, I don't even know. I went mute. I went silent after seeing that, you know, tragic incident that happened. I'm just talking about the trending East Legon accidents, which happened over the weekend, where a young boy, you know, crashed into a car that was parked. It wasn't even parked, it was following its lane.
Yes.
Yeah, a car crashed into the other, and then at the instant, 2 people died. And then the car also caught fire, and then it was a very terrible incident that a lot of people have been talking about. And then this has, you know, brought out a lot of controversies on social media, spanning lack of parental guidance, reckless driving on the road, the security, you know, service not doing their job, you know, people taking the rules or the laws into their hands to do all that, and even pedestrians and riders, motorists not being able to use fire extinguishers. Like, these are some of the comments that a lot of people have brought up because of what happened over the weekend, and I just felt like we need to also talk about it, because this is very serious.
Yeah. And I hear the one driving was about 16 years old. And I mean, according to our rules, you are not to drive till you're about 18, right?
Yeah.
So that also sparked a lot of conversation around that. Is it because the parents are sort of renowned in the country, so they tend to...
So sources claim that they were celebrating his elderly brother's birthday, and so he was asked to go and pick something to the house, and that was when he took his mother's Jaguar. It's a car, and then he drove, and then...
But, so if he's driving at that speed, then how will he drive in an emergency?
I don't even know. And, you know, videos started coming up.
Yeah.
People say this is not the first time he's over speeding. That's how he drives. There was a video of his friend, you know, taking a video of him driving, and even the friend was saying, this guy could kill me, or this guy could kill me. Or, like...
And, I mean, he's a minor, so not a lot of... punitive measures could be taken towards him. He may just be put into some sort of juvenile unit for a while.
And that is what a lot of people do not also agree to, because they say he knew what he was doing.
Yes, but he is a minor, so...
But is he, Yaira, I think, let me just say this. There's a police report out on there. It said police investigate fatal East Legon accident. And it reads, the Ghana Police Service has commenced investigation into an accident that occurred on Saturday, 12 October 2024 at East Legon in Accra, leading to the death of 2 persons. Preliminary police investigation indicates that suspect driver identified as Salifu Amoakun rammed his vehicle into another vehicle on Zeni Ashi Street at East Legon. Both vehicles caught fire and burnt beyond recognition. The suspect driver and other surviving victims are currently receiving medical attention. Meanwhile, one of the surviving victims has since been treated and discharged, while the bodies of the deceased victims have been deposited at the morgue for preservation and autopsy.
So,
I hope
the Salifu Amoakun, is it the pastor that was identified, or it is his?
So we are yet to see. You see, the police report is kind of quite... it's not really pinpointed. So we are yet to see moving forward, the kind of reports, whether it's the son or the father who was driving. Yes.
And if it is the father, it surely is not the father, is it? Because there are videos and things.
But per police reports, they said Salifu Amoakun. We are yet to know whether it's the father or the son.
Well, someone will be wondering what the law says about, reckless driving and what can be done to whoever gets involved in that. I did my research, and then according to the Constitution, Section 1C of the Road Traffic Act, so 2004, Act 683, as amended by the Road Traffic Amendment Act 2008, says that a person who drives a motor vehicle dangerously on a road commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction, where death occurs, to imprisonment for a term of not less than 3 years. And Section 2 also says, or gives meaning of what a dangerous driving is. And it says, the way that a person drives falls below what is expected of a competent and a careful driver. And so from what we saw, I wish the video could have been displayed. What we saw, it was a community, right? East Legon is a community where people are supposed to drive at a certain speed. But that speed, even highway, you can't drive. You can't drive on highway with that kind of speed.
Because when I also watched the video, it was, and I'm wondering if somebody is in labor or somebody is dying, then what speed would you use? Because if this is just an errand, you are running and you are using this kind of speed and you've killed people. But then also, I think since he's a minor, you know what?
I think we need to, I would say, to leave it now, to follow up with the subsequent reports from the police and the various agencies, so we take it from there. Because if not for that, you might end up drawing a conclusion which might not be.
But somebody, the families of the deceased would also want some form of justice.
Yes, sure.
And there are also conversations on the fact that from the family the culprit is coming from may be able to influence this issue, and then the families of the deceased may not receive what the justice due them. I don't even want to mention
names, but a lot of people were mentioning some known figures in the country who have also gotten themselves in this kind of situation, and they are walking around free because nothing has been done. And still on the issue of accidents, just yesterday, or I think 2 days ago, a VIP bus also got involved in an accident on the Kumasi road. And I think about 13 people died. And this is like the fourth VIP bus we are hearing of such news in, let's say, less than a month or two.
Yes.
So could it be a maintenance problem?
I was having a discussion with someone, and then the person was asserting that we are in an election year, and so every election year these people things must die. And the person even said we have one bus remaining to get involved in that. That was what the person said.
Yes, exactly. So I think basically when you dig into the cause of the accident, it was as a result that passengers were having disagreement in the car. So they tried involving the driver. So the driver turned back to respond to them. So by the time the driver realized he was close to a pit and he had nothing to do, and they just entered straight into a pit. That place, there was water. So that's what they just entered straight forward. And one amazing thing, after following this accident, was there were crates of eggs in the car. And the eggs didn't get cracked. But human beings
died.
They died. And people are wondering, what kind of egg at all be this? I was following the story on one of the media houses yesterday in an interview from a live report from the play. It was like, it's so amazing that we have about a number of eggs in the car. None of the eggs got cracked, but human beings lost their life through the accident, and we are yet to see the rest of the story unfolding.
Well,
but
it depends on the impact of the angles. I mean, there could be a lot of science and mathematics, physics,
and
involved.
who even owns the egg? Because that reminds me.
That was the question. That was the question.
You know, a group of people decided to embark on a journey, and then they were going alongside with crates of eggs, and so they entered the car, and then one of them asked, "Where do we put the eggs?" And the other person said, "Oh, put them in the boots." And they said, "Oh, okay, but looking at the speed, once it gets, you know, or something," the person said, "The Holy Spirit will go and stay there." And so eventually they got involved in an accident, and then they all died, but the eggs
were.
So the Holy Spirit.
That's what I'm saying. Who owns the egg?
So you see, this one is a signal to passengers. Sometimes some passengers, we engage in dialogues in the car, which is very baseless, and you involve the drivers in it. And to an extent that you'll be shouting on top of the driver, what do you want the driver to do? So just imagine, the driver tried to respond back, and that's, you all lost your life.
But then also, when you go to driving school, DVLA, traffic safety, road safety, you are not supposed to keep your eye off the road. You can, I mean, I could be speaking to both of you and still looking in the camera, but I'm communicating with you. So the driver did not need, this is not to victim blame, please.
Yes, that's very true.
The driver should not have turned, because I remember when my parents, my mom was learning to drive, those handbooks, there are rules. So what are you trying to say that you are driving,
and
that you need
also
to turn?
lead us into anger issues,
exactly,
or temperament. People have anger issues; they can't handle it.
Yes,
and so the only means they can, you know, retaliate is to just turn back and give it to
and
you.
respond.
Then if that is the case, park the car and it's on the highway.
But Era, there is another sad issue that happened that was yesterday, and it's supposed to that's Kaswa Bujumbura Road. Those who use that road will attest when you're going to Cape Coast. The contractor, I must say, there is should I say a manhole, a manhole dug in between the road. It's very deep pit.
I think it's because of the construction.
Because of the construction. And yesterday, I think the course of the day, I don't know whether it was a planned thing or it's unaware thing, and there was this blasting that took place. And a number of people lost their life, and a lot of people got injured. So the whole issue, the community or the people around are saying that, why didn't you inform us that this is what you are going to do?
So
because
that they could evacuate.
Yes, they said previously, before they do that, they inform them. So they move from their houses to a park. They will all assemble there. After the incidents, they will all come back to their room. But yesterday, it was not like that. It took them unaware, and then people lost their life, and it was so pathetic.
Shops and things.
Yes. They were rushed to the hospital, and you see how people really want to know whether their relative it's involved in such incidents. So there are a number of people at the hospital because they want to see whether their relative is part or not. Because of that, we had a whole number of police presence there, almost 200 police people at the hospital trying to protect the place, not getting citizens to access the hospital. But I must say, the contractor needs to, as soon as urgent, do something about it, because it's so bad.
So I heard the contractor has been at the site for just 2 times since they started the construction. He's been there for just 2 times. And then he asked his workers to do what they did. And I think maybe if he was there, or if he was frequent there, he would have been able to advise the people on what to do instead of just sitting somewhere and just giving the order. Because, I mean, look at the lives we've lost.
And then it brings back the need for intermittent training. You may have the expertise, but sometimes a refresher course, because these people probably know how to use these explosives and things, and they also have learned how to do a controlled, explosion, right? But if they don't have that refresher course anymore, they may forget about that and think, oh, let's do it.
Nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen. And then something has happened. Because these things are able to be controlled and kept in a you know, a more...
This is even the first time I'm hearing, you know, this killing people.
Yes,
yeah.
It's bad. But Era, I have one trending before this talks, or is in relation to the Parliament House. You see, Parliament, they are supposed to begin the final session of the 4th or the 8th Parliament.
Yeah.
That's today. So this is their final session. After today, the 8th Parliament, or after this very period, the 8th Parliament ends. That's because you are moving straight into election. And the Speaker of Parliament has mentioned quite a number of achievements that the 8th Parliament has made in the history of Ghana. And I must say they have done well, because looking at what they have done. But there is going to be another alarming issues in Parliament, starting from today, if we should follow, because the former minority leader of Parliament, that is Honorable Haruna Iddrisu, made a statement that they are going to invoke Article 97 of the 1992 Constitution, which gives them the right for an MP to vacate, or it talks about how an MP can resign from his seat or vacate from his seat. So he used an instance that since 4 members of Parliament from the New Patriotic Party have decided to go independent, meaning that they have vacated their seat as Member of Parliament for the NPP. So they are going to invoke that article, making the minority in Parliament become the majority, and the majority in Parliament becoming the minority. Yesterday, this very issue triggered a lot on the media. A lot of people were talking about it. But we hope to see how it will really go. But when you read something small about the Article 97 of the 1992 Constitution, I will just paraphrase, because we are not lawyers to interpret. It says that it gives certain conditions where a member of Parliament must vacate their seat. 1, if the MP is convicted of a crime and sentenced to imprisonment for more than 12 months. 2, if the MP becomes physically or mentally incapacitated. 3, if the MP resigns from their position. 4, if the MP is absent from parliamentary sessions without permission for more than a certain number of days. So I believe he's going to use the aspect of if the MP resigns from their position. But we hope to see the angle he'll pick it from, to see how the lawyers will interpret the law to Ghanaians.
Interesting days ahead.
Yes, interesting days ahead. And we're also going to witness the revocation of the LI 2462, yes, as said by the Parliament President.
Well, we hope to hear more about that soon. So let's go quickly into your digitalized graphic news.
So today I have with me the Daily Graphic, today's Daily Graphic. And on the front page, we have Ghana ready to host Best Ever African Oil Week Conference in 2025. That's on page 26. We also have PIAC holds workshop on solutions to crude oil production dips. And then our major story, managing public sector wage bill. Wages must match productivity. Finally, someone has said this. So the public sector wage bill must be reformed to match productivity to performance of workers, the Chief Executive Officer of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, Benjamin Arthur, has advocated. Such a move, he said, would ensure that workers were adequately rewarded based on their productivity, which would be a form of motivation while helping the country to efficiently manage the public sector wage bill. Mr. Arthur was speaking in an exclusive interview with Daily Graphic, while stating that the single-spine salary structure had helped to manage discrepancies and disparities in public sector wages. He said it was time for the country to focus more on the output of workers instead of just the input. So that is just a portion of the story. He's advocating that, you know, productivity should match, wages should match productivity. You should be paid as how you work, like the effort you put in your work. That is how you're supposed to be paid. And I totally agree with him.
Oh, yes, I totally agree. I totally agree.
Well, it could spark a lot of controversy too, because let's be honest, there are certain people that are basically redundant in some institutions, but they are there probably based on 1 or 2 reasons best known to them. So if, you know, salaries or wages are supposed to match their input, they may not be given any input worth the amount they are probably receiving now? And if now it is changed that, okay, this is how much you bring to this institution, so this is what you are taking, problem will come.
I don't agree with you. Because why do you think people are doing kululu, people are doing protocol, people are doing connection man and all those things? It's because the work they do not receive the wages that, you know, are supposed to be allocated to such efforts they put in their works. And so they have to look at, you know, other means of making other income to add to their wages. So if you've been employed and then you are not working for reasons best known to you and you are there comfortably, expecting that at the end of the month you'll be paid, I don't think you are being fair to the one that is working 24/7.
And then also, you know how certain, let's even use these one-man businesses. They create new positions for their kin, their Nepo babies, that we usually call them. They create these new positions. They are just there. It's just a title. They're not doing any work. And now wages must meet the output or input. Okay. Something like this. What does that mean for the nepotism baby that has been put there?
Hey, don't worry. Whoever placed you there will sort you out. We can't use government taxes, government, you know, money to be paying people who are not contributing, you know, to our finances, our resources. And
okay, let's go.
So, I have to be passionate about this. So salaries you are receiving.
Not going. I think what they are calling for is it's a right call, because productivity needs to match with your wages. From the point you are talking about, this one will put everybody on your toes to work, because if you know you don't contribute anything to the output, if you don't have any contribution to output, you are not supposed to be paid.
Exactly.
And that should be the basis, because you can't be paid for what you've not worked for.
Exactly.
So yes. So since you can't be paid for what you've not worked for, I think if I contribute 1% to productivity, I'm supposed to receive 1% of that same productivity. And this one will make productivity even increase. Our economy is going to boost up. Revenue is going to be generated
to
work. And
motivated.
Seriously, it's going to build the economy that we want.
Well, I think also I would have to be the devil's advocate to say this. This should also go to our leaders. Yes, the amounts of money they are getting for the positions they are in, and we are not necessarily seeing
what they are doing.
Yes. So I think it should go there first.
Yara, some are really working. Some are really working.
So the ones working will get what they deserve, and then the ones who are not working will also get what they deserve, right? It shouldn't only be the layman. It should be everybody. Nobody's above the law. At least that's what is said theoretically.
It's true.
Yes. What do you also have for us?
So, Yara, we are still in the internet world. So on the front page of Graphic Business, we have 3 stories. It says Access Bank supports 20,000 business with loans. We have the other one that talks about 5G services go live. That's November 1. So Ghanaians should expect 5G services from 1st November. We also have government to create manufacturers out of importers. So let me just tackle on the 5G service go live, because that is one thing that the youth and everybody is expecting, because the internet connectivity now is some way. So reading, it said exciting times await business as Ghana's 5th generation, that's 5G technology, is ready to go live on November 1. The wireless technology will offer users a higher internet speed, higher upload and download speed, with more consistent connections and improved capacity. The 5G network will run on the same radio frequencies as the existing ones, that's 3G, 4G, and 4G LTE network, which formerly served most cell phones worldwide. And the main reason why they're introducing the 5G is, it says that the aim is to deliver affordable and high-speed mobile broadband services to users nationwide. And they also said that 5G service is expected to benefit Ghanaians in several ways, such as faster data speed, lower latency, and increased connectivity. So that is all about the 5G services.
So do our telecommunications networks that have been disappointing us every day know this?
Oh, yes. Some are really working.
Are they also going to give us this 5G? Is it going to be camouflage 5G. It is 5G, but it is
even normal 4G. We are not seeing.
But you see, there's no edge, because amazingly, the NCA is saying that in terms of licenses, they said the government issued the 5G service licenses to Next Generation Infraco, that is a new shared infrastructure company which is co-promoted by the government and 7 other industries. That is the Access Digital, KNet, Nokia, Tech Mahindra, AT Ghana, and Telecel Ghana. But people were asking, what about MTN and stuff? They said that, however, industry giant MTN Ghana is not part of the consortium, raising doubt about how successful the launch will be in the absence of the major players.
Well, in as much as this is, some sort of good news for all of us, I also feel it is not going to serve a particular portion of the population we have in the country, especially the youth, who actively use these internet data we are talking about. And so the 5G that is coming, yes, it is coming to help internet connectivity move faster and other things. But what about making them affordable, data prices affordable? Because if we are not able to purchase, data, I don't think we'll be able to even access the 5G they are introducing. So I think majority of the youth are calling on the minister to advocate for a reduction in the prices of these data bundles instead of introducing 5G.
And then with the incidence of 5G, then it even increases in the price, because maybe maintenance and all kinds of new reasons why they should increase.
When I started using iPhone fresh, my 1 CD data, I cannot use 1 CD data on iPhone, right? No. Unless, because it uses 4G, so I have to increase. I have to buy like 3 CDs or 5 CDs. Now you're buying 3 CDs.
No, but is it what then?
God has been good. Now we don't use 3 CDs.
So maybe the whole thing is, they said they will make it affordable. So we just hope to see what's going to happen. But I understand the point, because the current one that we have, they've now keep on adding more to their cost, adding more to, now when you subscribe to, let's say 3 CDs, those days MTN, when you subscribe to 3 CDs, you get about 451 megabytes, but now it has been reduced drastically. So I think I understand the point you're coming from.
They could also argue that the kind of technology we had even 10 years ago versus now, I mean, I think the scientists could use about 1 megabyte to, I used to see some post or story about using a small number of megabytes to be able to put somebody on the moon. Now we are using up to 1 terabyte or even more than that. So that would also play a role, because the phones that were using the Edge were able to, those times our memory cards, how many megabytes? And you could have so many songs on it. But now those megabytes are something really small. You need about 2 to 3 or 4 gig. And even now, 4 gig is very small for our computers, for our phones, and those. So those are things that we should also think
technology
about.
Is failing us. Is rather failing us, because why would we have an advancement in technology and then expenses keep growing?
So that's how the world is created to be. So technology is not failing at all. It's the nature.
It's supposed to make life easier for us.
Yes, it's making life easy. Now you can make call to anybody outside the country. Life is so easy. So I think
so you can continue your argument backstage. For now, the online news, the first story here says, Election 2024, the Electoral Commission to re-exhibit voters register online from October 15 to 19. So the story here is saying the Electoral Commission has revealed that the re-exhibition of the provisional voters register will take place from Tuesday, October 15 to Saturday, October 19, 2024. The public may remember that during the special inter-party advisory committee meeting on October 1, the Commission assured attendees that the updated PVR would be available online, allowing registered voters to verify their information and report any errors for correction. So from Tuesday, 15th October, which is today, voters can check their details via the short code *711 *51 hash. And I take that again, *711 *51 hash. Free of charge, and the Commission said in a statement on Monday, October 14. Now, they said voters can also check their details from their website, which is the ec.gov.gh. So https, /ec.gov.gh. Voters should click on the pop-up link at the bottom right corner of the screen and enter the 10-digit voter ID number to receive their voter registration details, the EC said. So, yeah, in the spirit of transparency and accountability, at least the register has been, the provisional voters register is going to be displayed. We have about how many months? We are in October, so 2 more months. It's even less. It's less than because we only have the whole of November and the first few days of December. So to be able to see and verify your information now is a very good thing. It's key so that you don't have to go and face any problems when you are at the ballot box. So that's good. And we are glad the EC is also being autonomous in taking such decisions.
So I think the Electoral Commission on this side out there, that kind of integrity the EC always call for will be there. And that is the right step the EC has taken. And I must say, they have done a good thing. And the good people of Ghana should take advantage of this very exercise to check. Myself, I'll do that right after here. So let's do that so that on the very day, we don't want any chaotic day on the day of election, not at all. So I would just say one thing. The EC also said that the public should note that any discrepancies identified must be reported to the district office of the commission where they are registered voters for correction. So if you check and there is any issue with your details, kindly report to the district office. And we all must take note that once the re-exhibition exercise ends on Saturday, that is 19th October, voters will still be able to check their details online, but cannot request for correction of their details. So we should take note of that.
It's good they put it that way, because some people would try to take advantage and then towards the D-Day, then they come and make changes as you know how these election things, there are so many ways to try and rig, and it's good that they are keeping the correction time. So please follow the time frame and do the needful as quickly as possible.
Yes, but okay.
I also want to urge political parties to, advise their members or their fandoms to go and then do the
necessary checks.
Because we don't want any issue with the Electoral Commission to pop up again. We beg them. They know themselves.
And in that same vein, they shouldn't also incite their party faithfuls to go and do anything to try to
also tamper with the sites.
Okay, so on the same matter of election, I will say that today at Alisa Hotel, 11 a.m., there's going to be IPAC meeting with the Electoral Commission, and it's all because of the re-exhibition exercise. They want to involve all the stakeholders because they told them earlier this month, so they are going to tell them that they've started, so they should equally involve their followers so that the integrity of the EC would be there. And notwithstanding, yesterday too, EC also made the public aware that they've released the provisional, that's the balloting statistics, it's now out. And the balloting statistics says that currently there's going to be printing of the ballot papers for the presidential and the parliamentary elections. And in terms of printing, they are going to make a provision that is 2% increment in the total provisional voters register. So assuming if the provisional voters register is 20,000, they are going to print extra 2% of 20,000, add up to the parliamentary and the presidential ballots, so that they will not have issues with we are short of ballots on the D-Day and this kind of issue. And I must say it's a good step the EC has taken.
People should also open their eyes when they are going to vote. We don't want any mistake.
Yeah. Well, the next story here is, of course, about Galamsey. So 9 Galamseyers arrested over Shang funds destroyed in anti-Galamsey raid. The government anti-Galamsey task force Operation Halt has apprehended 9 suspected illegal miners and destroyed 23 Shang funds along the Ankobra River in Prestia, Nakaba. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Located in the Western region, these arrests were part of a broader operation that saw over 100 soldiers deployed last week as part of the government's intensified efforts to tackle illegal mining, spurred by growing demands from professional organizations and civil societies. Now, illegal mining, known as galamsey, has caused significant environmental damage, especially along rivers in Ghana. So, do you know what Shangfan is?
Yeah.
It takes my mind back to history in SHS when we were learning ancient Egypt, Shaduf. It was that balance scale they used to fetch water.
Okay.
And now we have Shangfan. And it's actually a sort of a piece of technology that these Chinese brought into the country to be able to aid in mining from the rivers.
Yeah.
Apparently, under the river belt or the land in there, and there's a lot of gold there. So
Yes.
rather than swimming and drowning and things, they brought this piece of technology. And I think some years back, I don't remember the year, but probably around 2012 or earlier, they were arrested, the Chinese, they were arrested and deported, and then since they left their equipment there, the people that had learned how to use it continued using it, and I think they were even able to import more, even if, for lack of a better word, even maybe make their own makeshift Shangfans as well. So we have 9 people that have been arrested, but we still have a long way to go.
Oh, yes.
There are so many people that we need to arrest. And then I saw a video, on this story trending, and you could see our own people, kneeling down, and then
the Chinese are sitting down. But they're also culprits.
You see, that is where it all starts. So the mentality, that is where it all starts. Why should our people be kneeling and then the Chinese will be sitting? Why? Are they so special?
It is Ghanaian hospitality. I mean, that's what Ghana is known for.
They are the same people
the
who
most
exchange us
hospitable.
for just a meal.
So let me stick to the illegal miners and Shangfan issue. So, Era, it's I would say it's a good thing the Operation HOTS people are doing, because I must say this issue of galamsey is really causing more harm than good, in as much as people are saying that it contributes to number percentage, almost 60% to our economic growth. That's in the aspect of small scale mining and stuff. I would say that the current benefits we are having from this small scale mining or this mining industries has a long-term effect on us. So I believe in let's look at how to solve the long-term effect rather than looking at what we are gaining today, because it's contributing to our economic growth. Should we all sit down and look at or watch the destruction of our water bodies? I believe no. I believe that the right action needs to be taken and needs to be taken rightly. So the Operation HOT people started their projects all over the Eastern region, and when you go to Eastern region, they destroyed about 30 pieces of mining equipment on the Brim River in the Eastern region. And in the Central region, and also that's the Western you talked about. In the Central region, the Pra River, after destroying about 10 Shangfan, they also destroyed 8 water pumping machines on the Pra River and a lot of equipment over there. And this operation is lasting for 2 weeks. Yes, that is what they say. Yes, it's lasting for 2 weeks. So maybe after 2 weeks, they are going to see how they are going to restructure themselves for another tax ahead of them. So let's wait for the outcome of the 2 weeks operation they are doing. And I believe, yes, I know that they are destroying a lot of people's work, and I've seen a lot of videos out. People are saying, I'm threatening them that since I've even seen one video where they bent an excavator and they were threatening them that why did they do that. I believe that people or Ghanaians, we saw the notice well ahead of time that these tax force people are coming. So if for any other reason, you could have parked your excavator in your house and stopped whatever you are doing. But you didn't do that. You are still on site mining. You are still on the water bodies causing more harm than good. People will say that that is their livelihood. Yes, I agree. That is your livelihood. But let's look at the positive or the future impact the future impact of what we are doing. Today, it puts food on your table. But what if tomorrow, all the food, all the money you've gathered, you are supposed to use to import water from the outside country before you drink? Does it mean we are doing a good thing to ourselves? So I believe that the future impact of this Galamsey thing should be something that will drive all of us to fight for it, to fight it today once and for all. Yara, I was so amazed over the weekend, I saw in the news outlet that a minister, and I will not mention the a minister said that there are people are talking about Galamsey, but for him, he drink pipe water and he has not seen any sign of Galamsey in his pipe water.
Wow.
So he don't believe in anything like Galamsey causing more harm than good. And when I saw that, I was like, really? So this is where it has gotten to. This is where it has landed us in issues like this. But it's so good that on the main discussion, we'll be talking about Galamsey there. So I believe those people will speak more into issues like this.
I also want to add to it that, yes, we are fighting Galamsey. Now, the harm has already been caused, right? So I also feel government should put together maybe a committee or some sort of people to start thinking of how we are going to repair the destroyed soils, the destroyed lands, the destroyed water bodies, because we can't wait to fight Galamsey and then now start all over with the refinery of our water bodies, you know, our natural resources and the rest. I think it is going to be too late, because a research scientist recently discovered that it will take more than 300 years for us to restore our soils, for us to have our water bodies back looking blue and white. It's going to take so many years. And so I think action should be, you know, taken now. As we are fighting Galamsey, let's think of how we are going to recover our natural resources and water bodies.
Well, I just hope that the kind of investments being made into Galamsey would rather be pushed towards what you are talking about, because, I mean, it is an avenue for making money as well. If we are so focused on trying to restore our lands, fill up the pits that were, you know, dug, people dying and things like that, repairing everything, replanting where we need to, trying to desilt the rivers and all of those things. That is a very big or a major investment avenue for our leaders and then the people involved in this Galamsey. So they should look towards that rather than the gold. Because I watched the documentary, and if you see the amount of gold they acquire after doing all of that rigorous work, it is amazing.
It's very small.
Very, very small chips.
There's a lot of money.
It has a lot of value, but are those small chips worth the lives of over 30 million people?
Someone will tell you yes.
And you know they are aware, because they use mercury to extract the gold and everything. And when they finish, and even I think one of the documentaries I saw, they use even washing soap. So they add washing powder too. And when they finish, they pour it into her. And aside the fact that they are polluting these rivers, they're also changing the course of the river. To what end? Because what do you want to eat like this that you need to do all this to our resources?
That's why I'm saying it shouldn't just end with our arrest. If you are arrested, you need to be fined. Go ahead, but they will go back. But you will pay money. Like for them, the money you've gotten, give it back to government and we'll use it to solve the issues you have created for us.
And you know, one of is it the MC or DC or something? One of these leaders or the heads of the police of one of the communities was also saying that even some of the policemen are involved in it.
Oh, I won't be surprised.
This cancer, I don't even know where we need to. Where are we even going to start from? These are some of the things we need to look at and do this thoroughly. Else, Ghana will not be a viable state to live in.
And that, you see, people are getting, I don't know if they are realizing that the foreigners wouldn't like to come to Ghana because of what is really happening.
Yes. Over the years, coming to come and exploit.
Yes, over the years, you hear people talking about Ghana, I want to visit Ghana, but now they won't come because of the kind of environment we have created for ourselves, which is so bad. I believe, I won't talk much because you have guests to speak to this issue. But the only thing I will say, as Mimi talked about, that there should be a plan on solving or providing solutions to it. But I would say that is what the Ministry of Natural Lands and Natural Resources took initiative of, planting more trees. That's the reason behind that. thing is to green the environment for the destruction of the our timbers and stuff. We should replant. Yes, we should replant them all over. But you see, I was so amazed that some people who engage in the aspect of reforestation, right? The afforestation, replanting of the trees. Some of them allegedly are also involved in galamsey. The issue is but
come see, come sell.
yeah, exactly.
They are like, we'll plant trees, but let's destroy the water bodies. But
the problem too is our soils are also being destroyed.
Yeah.
So where do we even plant to start the afforestation again?
But Yara,
the water bodies, do they even have fish anymore? And the fish, by now they have 3 eyes. And things like that. Are we going to be able to consume these?
So Yara, before I forget, tomorrow is the 44th observation of the World Food Day, and Ghana, it's happening. We are doing ours at the Ministry of Agriculture, the focus of Ministry of Agriculture. I want to see the kind of food we produce in Ghana and the kind of the state of the food, because looking at the impact of the destruction of the environment, now everything it seems to be affected. Everything seems to be affected. And the time is coming that we will end up importing foodstuffs to outside countries, and they'll reject it back to Ghana.
Of course. And you know, one of the interviews I also watched, the person was linking the increased rate of these kidney issues to this galamsey issue, and it seems viable because he explained that our bodies are not able to excrete these heavy metals out of our systems like the way, you know, because of the quantity that may be in the body. And then, you know, our kidneys are the organs that help flush out toxins and things. So now people's look at these renal failure issues that we are facing these days. What if? But you know what? If we decide to talk about galamsey, we'll be here the whole day. Let me read a few comments. So this one says, for once, we are getting something free from Ghana. Well done, EC. Thank you for your comment. Our very own Obiba says, you guys are looking wild this morning. Yaira, your outfits. Thank you. We hear it's your birthday, so we'll be celebrating you on the lifestyle segment. It's not like we forgot.
Not at all. So, but Yaira, before you go there, since he has brought himself, I want to wish him happy, glorious birthday. So, Obiba has been, has been a very good person, amazing friend, way back campus. And we won't talk about it today. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Today's his birthday.
He wanted me not to say it.
Oh, he's a loyal follower of Crocodile.
Yes.
We have to specially celebrate it. So
exactly.
Wait for us. Birthday segment. We'll stress it for you.
So we also have more comments. Rose Entertainment says, good morning, Clog TV. This is Charles watching you from Dubai. Good morning to you. DNJ Venture says, good morning. Sefas Dosu says, hey, Yaira. Hey, you're asking that we share our salary with staff. Mimi, sorry. Then, of course, our very own Obiba Wilson says, it is another day and another divine grace is sustaining us. Good morning to Cocoa Digest crew and your cherished viewers. Good morning to you too. Now, Sefas Dosu also says, what are they doing about the cost of data? We can't have a digitalized economy with this ever-increasing cost of data. That is very, very true. Thank you for your comments sent in. So quickly, the last story, it's a pretty long one, but so this one says, the safety and security of Kia is one of the best in the world. So the Minister for Transport, Mr. Kweku Ofori-Esiama, announced that there is ongoing collaboration with international partners to combat the cocaine problem at the Kotoka International Airport. Okay, so the Kia is the Kotoka International Airport. Sorry, it was an abbreviation. He emphasized that the Kotoka International Airport safety and security measures are among the best globally. And Mr. Ofori-Esiama made the statement while disclosing that certain employees of Ghana Airports Company Limited who were involved in a cocaine smuggling case at the Kotoka International Airport have been reinstated following investigations. He shared this information during his appearance before the Assurance Committee of Parliament, where he addressed various assurances and concerns related to his ministry And in March 2023, it was claimed that an employee of the Ghana Airports Company Limited had smuggled 8.5 kilograms of substance believed to be cocaine through the Kotoka International Airport, but was later apprehended by Belgian authorities at the Brussels airport. He said the security at various airports collaborate with each other, and I can even let people slip for him to be busted at another airport. And we have also busted other people on behalf of other countries. This is a network that we have to look for, and pointed out that the safety and security of the Kotoka International Airport is one of the best in the world.
Well, some of us, we are yet to experience if it is one of the best. When Clement is able to, take me to Dubai.
But Dubai, we go to UK.
I think
Dubai.
we had a story here some months back where weed was smuggled in Gary.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how did it get out of here? So is it that they allowed it to go?
I think that
one was shipped. Yeah. So okay, then that's fine. Yeah. Well, if this is what they are saying, and I mean, we haven't had a lot of scandals at the Kotoka International Airport.
Yeah. So the latest one was on the 24th of let me get it right. On 10th of April 2024, there was an alleged that number of cocaine has been smuggled outside the country, reported by Herald newspaper. That was on the 10th of April. But so apparently during the committee meeting, the chair for the committee, that's Honorable Samuel Kudeta Blakwa, asked the minister that what is the outcome of such investigation. And it's like the minister responded, but the chair told the minister that this is a public information, so he should put it out there for Ghanaians to know the outcome of the investigation of on the 10th of April 2024 issue that happened at Kotoka International Airport.
Okay, so with this, I think since they are saying this, we just also need to keep an eye out on them so that we know that they are keeping up this reputation, and then also they can emulate, as they said, it's a network. It being a network should not also mean that the management will be collaborating to be able to successfully use this network to rather do the bad things.
Do that. For Kotoka International Airport, they won't do that. The only airport, the international airport we have in Ghana, they won't do that. Yes.
Well, we hope so. So we have one more comment, and this is Good Morning Cocoa Digest. This is Joe from Omanjo. Thank you so much for your comments, and thank you all for joining us here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, our online and newspaper review. Next is a lifestyle segment, and they will be talking to the bus stop. Okay, so next is, the business segment, and he's bringing us everything in the world of business, stock markets, cocoa prices, fuel prices, everything. So stay tuned. Clement Yabankwe will be with us to bring us business news.
Clog TV. Beyond the Policy. Clog TV. Beyond the policy.
And welcome to the world of business. I am Clement Yabankwe. And today, in our stories, let's start with the business latest. In the business latest today, we are going to look at how the Ghana cedis is performing with the three major international currencies we have. That's the United States dollars, the pound sterling, and that's of the euros. So as you can see from the screen, this is 3 months ago, and Ghana cedis was trading to United States dollars at an amount of 15 Ghana cedis, 66 pesos. And as at this morning, is 16 Ghana cedis, 32 pesos. And the percentage change in 3 months ago is 4.22%. 4.22%. That is with the United States dollars. Let's get that off the euros too. 3 months ago is 20 Ghana cedis, 34 pesos. 3 months ago, and currently is 21 Ghana cedis, 38 pesos. 21 Ghana cedis, 38 pesos, and the percentage change is 5.11%. 5.11%. That of the pound sterling 3 months ago is 17 Ghana cedis, 10 pesos. 17 Ghana cedis, 10 pesos, and currently this morning is 17 Ghana cedis, 93 pesos. 17 Ghana cedis, 93 pesos, and the percentage change is 4.85%. 4.85%. Looking at how the Ghana cedis is performing with the three major international currencies, you can attest to the fact that cedis is still depreciating. Cedi is still depreciating 3 months ago, as at today, is still depreciating. And when things like this happen, it affects the economic stability. That is when people want to import commodities, assuming you imported a commodity that cost 500 Ghana cedis 3 months ago, 500 Ghana cedis, which is assuming equivalent to 50 United States dollars. This time around, you need more Ghana cedis to buy the same thing. Why? Because the Ghana cedis has depreciated to the United States dollars. That's all we have for you on Business Latest on Business Update segment. Let's get into our main stories for today. In our main story, beginning with Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam started the government policies aimed at supporting the private sector are delivering positive outcomes. He highlighted that the 5.8% economic growth recorded in the first half of the year, the highest in 5 years, was driven by the resilience of small and medium enterprises and ongoing economic reforms. According to data from the Ghana Statistical Services, the entrepreneurial strength of SMEs has been a key factor in the country's impressive economic recovery. In our second story, the government has resumed payment on its Eurobonds debt following the completion of a bondholder exchange program last week. A total of 520 United States dollars, a total of 520 million United States dollars has been disbursed to Eurobond holders, which includes 120 million United States dollars consent fee for those who participated in the exchange under specific conditions. Market analysts have termed this fee as an incentive for bondholders to engage in the debt exchange program, amounting to $10 per 1,000 United States dollars of recognized principal for the exiting notes. Additionally, the government has paid around 320 million United States dollars to investors, covering coupon payments that were previously frozen since 2022 due to the debt service freeze. This payment was mandated once the debt restructuring deal was finalized. In our third story, the government experienced a slight oversubscription in Treasury bill sales, achieving 1.08% above its target of 4.565 billion Ghana cedis after 3 weeks of underperformance. This improvement follows the International Monetary Fund's approval of the third review of Ghana's Economic Facility Program, coinciding with the completion of Eurobond restructuring.
Method were accepted with approximately 3.88 billion Ghana cedis, or 84% of total bets coming from the 91-day bail. The 182-day bill saw around 500.68 million Ghana cedis in bids, while the 364-day bill received 225.96 million Ghana cedis. Additionally, interest rates on the yield curve rose slightly, with the 91-day bill's yield increasing to 25.61%, and the 182-day bill's yield rising to 26.90%, while the 364-day bill's rate fell to 28.58%.
In our last story, Moody's, an international credit rating agency, has raised Ghana's long-term local and foreign currency issuer rating to CAA2 from CAA3 and CA respectively, citing substantial debt restructuring that has eased the government's financial. This means that Ghana has been rated above its level where it can't fulfill its financial obligation. The agency also upgraded Ghana's outlook from stable to positive, noting that the improved outlook reflects the potential reduction of liquidity risk through ongoing fiscal consolidation efforts supported by an IMF program. That's all we have for you on Business Update segments. I am Clement Yabankwe. Stay tuned for the rest of the show, especially with Miriam Abena Adede and her guest on the lifestyle segments.
Morning show here on Plug TV. I am Miriam Abna Adede, and that was Ashake saying organize. And so it is just gearing us into the conversation today because we are talking about volunteerism. And I have with me, a youth-led volunteer group that have been transforming communities with their dedication to, making our communities very clean. And you know them, right? They are the Bus Stop Boys. They are with us in the studio today to delve into the conversation, understanding the power of youth-led volunteerism, and we'll get to know their story as well. They'll walk us through how they came about the group, what their objectives are, and what they have been doing for our communities. Now, you can join the conversation by sending in your comments to our WhatsApp number, which has been displayed on the screen, and also via our streaming platform, Facebook and also YouTube, and we'll gladly read your comments out to our guests. Now, let's get straight into the conversation. Hello, guys.
Hi.
How are you doing?
We are fine. Yourself?
I'm doing so well.
Yeah.
So I know you're a group of about 15 or 20 or less.
143.
143.
Yes.
How did it start?
Well, good morning to your beautiful viewers. I think it all started with a statement from my grandfather, who is Apostle Dr. Engineer, producer for Kantanka. That says service to mankind is service to God.
Okay.
So this is a statement that we have heard times and many as young people growing up. And at the point now that we are adults, we are looking at how we can translate that statement to something practical. Because from our understanding of the statement, it means that when we pray to God for help, it's always come through man. So whatever respect that we can give to man for man to feel at peace is of relevance. So we're looking at how to also help and bring peace to the land, because we also know that by virtue of being human, nobody is interested in dirty or death. That is why something like the sea, if you throw trash inside, it brings the trash to the banks of the sea to tell you that I don't like death. So we are saying that if we can begin as a people to put hope and prioritize cleanliness, then of course we can attract godliness, because cleanliness is next to godliness.
Okay, right. And I know you heard that from your grandfather, and I know bringing people together to form a group to embark on a journey is sometimes very difficult. What did you tell your group members that brought all of you together to work on this project?
Okay, I think it first started with me leading what I want, what I've thought of, or what I want to do. So we started first with my girlfriend then. Now we are married, so she's my mother. Up until we got to a point where
relationship goes.
we got to a point where Mr. Safo was living. He's around Odoko.
Okay.
So he was not too far from where we were at the point. So I went to him and also explained to him that this is what we want to do. We might not get anything, but then the legacies of our ancestors is not what they built for themselves, but the impact they make in other people's lives. So I cite an example like Kwame Nkrumah, to whom we cannot up upon today point to a building that belongs to Kwame Nkrumah, but we all feel the impact from Akosumo Dam to University of Ghana to Accra Tema Motorway and all of that. So basically, I explained to you, and if you believe that yes, nobody will live forever, there will be a time when we also become part of history. So let's also do something so that even if you are no more, we'll be remembered for something positive. This is the message, and whoever believes in force.
I personally have been wanting to get the opportunity to appreciate you guys for what you've been doing. You guys are doing so well. We'll look at some of your videos, some of the transformative works you've done. But Mr. Safo, right? Yeah. Let me ask you, they were working and then you saw them working. What gingered you or sparked that interest into joining them?
Okay, so when they started, they actually came to my place at Odoko.
Okay.
He just said it. And he explained everything, the dream, how he wants things to be like.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was actually a good initiative. So I just gave in. And I pledged to support this to the fullest. Okay. So that's how I joined.
You've been with them for a long time.
Yes.
Right. Well, if you just joined us, this is the Cocoa Digest Morning Show here on Clock TV. We are discussing the power of youth-led volunteerism, and we are getting to understand the story of the Bus Stop Boys. You can join us by sending in your comments to our WhatsApp number and also via our streaming platforms, and we'll gladly read your comments out. Producer, please, if we have the videos ready, could we have a look at them?
You gon' make me sing your name, Gunny, and you gon' make me show you say your name start to done it.
So these are just a few of the many projects you've embarked on. Okay. Tell us how you get your support, because looking at the kind of rigorous cleaning you guys do, it is not just using your hands and your legs, but how do you get support?
Well, the support is coming from individual Ghanaians who also believe that we can do it as a people because we have done it before. And they are supporting, buying us rigs, some sending us momo, reflectors, nose marks, and all of those. So aside from our own money that goes into it, a lot of the support is coming from people who watch the videos, they see what we have done, the actions that we are taking on the streets, and they support us.
Okay. So among the many projects you've embarked on, which one will you say is a memorable one? Like after doing it, you realize that, we've killed ourselves. Which one?
2 places. One at Achimota.
Achimota, which part?
The footbridge, the flyover that connects to New Station. They have 2 flyovers.
Yes.
The main Achimota overhead and the second one that goes to New Station.
Yes.
Yes, there's a heap, there's a space there. And that space, there's a beautiful drainage system there. But then it has been covered with a lot of sand, and that's where the community, everybody dump their trash. And we've been there twice, actually. The first time we went, no, 3 times. The first time we went with our rigs and shovel, we couldn't. So we went back, and this time came again with a backhoe.
Okay.
Backhoe is a machine that does a lot of dredging. Because even the nature and the scent that is coming from that particular place, we can't do it manually. So we rented a backhoe to get the job done. And as at today, it's looking very, very beautiful. And even the community themselves come to appreciate and say, wow, you guys have done so well. And then Valco Runabout at Tema Committee 4. Okay. Yeah, if you look at the history of Valco Runabout, it's a place that floods almost every time it rains. So upon arrival, we saw that the drains that is connecting from the runabout and out of the runabout, they are all choked with sand.
Yeah.
Again, we had to rent a backhoe to get a job done. And after, you see the actual beauty of the place. And if you look at the history of Tema, how Kwame Nkrumah designed everything to connect one to the other, all the way to the sea.
Yeah.
Then you could see, say, yes, indeed, if we put our priority on cleanliness or putting sanitation first, we can get there, because we also believe that the difference between us and Rwanda is sanitation.
It's true.
And if I'm an investor and I want to invest in any country, I prefer to go to a country that is clean. Because I cite an example for what happened on the motorway, the China Mall that got flooded. If I'm an investor and I sit back behind telly or social media and I saw that, it will interest me to come into Ghana. Because I feel like I invest and the rains is likely to wash everything away. So it's a typical depiction of the fact that if we change our focus and we begin paying attention inside Ghana, there's a lot of beautiful and amazing things that we can do.
Right.
But unfortunately, all of us are thinking of Canada, UK.
It's true. All of us, including you and I. Right. So with the videos we watched, could you identify the locations in case if someone was wondering where that took place?
So the first one was Rage Runabout, right in front of
this one.
Bank.
Yes, Republic Bank.
Oh, okay.
From Rage Hospital. If we hit the runabout, it's on your immediate right.
Yes.
And the second one is also Accra Mall. Yes, so this is Rage.
Wow. You guys are really doing so well. There was one video I saw someone in a poly bag enter under a gutter and...
That was Fadama.
Yeah, Fadama.
How challenging is these things? Because looking at the health risk, would you say like you guys are safe? Because looking at how you guys go under deep into the gutters, how do you protect yourselves? Tell us some of the challenges.
Well, the challenges are many.
Yeah.
But because, of course, going inside such tunnel, apart from, let's say, the germs and bacteria you are likely to attract, there's heat. So you can also suffocate along the line.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of challenges. I don't know how to even break them down. But it's also about the fact that we need to prove to people what is possible. Because for Fadama, for example, according to those who live around, for over 10 years, the place always floods.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's a simple fact that there's a car tie inside the drain that is blocking everything. So as much as we can get some, basically, if you do, whether we do it or not, getting sick is easy because all our drains are choked. And cholera and malaria is everywhere.
Eventually, we'll get sick at one point.
So sometimes you just have to see. I believe the more you do, you show people what is possible. You also inspire other people to rise up.
Okay.
I believe one man can make a difference.
Sure.
So if Bus-Stop Boys is able to fix those problems, I mean the sickness, those cholera, diarrhea, and all those things will actually come down.
Yeah.
Yes.
You as an individual or a member of the group, have you also faced your personal challenges regarding this project?
Okay, so I would say the biggest challenge that we are facing is the mindset of the individual.
Yeah.
So you can try and clean a particular place, and about 2 or 3 days, you go back and you actually see, the rubbish back inside. But one thing about us is we actually don't give up. From where we are coming from, if you know where we are coming from, we actually don't give up. I remember we worked at Achimota. That was on the 6th March. And you could see the energy and the very way the people get. Charlie, it was massive.
Yeah.
So after that day, I know that that work was much challenging. We used our manpower to, clear was it the pavement?
Yeah, it was a drain covered with sand and weeds.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that day, everybody that you will see death on the person's face, like from head to toe. It was crazy. Since that day, I believe that there is no day that we can actually give up on something like that.
Yeah.
And
Because you face the worst.
yes.
You've seen it all.
Yes. So if we clean and you dirty there, we will come back and clean.
Clean it again.
And clean it again.
Well,
Yeah.
we have a question here. This is from Godfred Edem on Facebook. He's saying, are there any measures the bus stop boys can put in place to ensure the places they clean remain clean over a long period of time?
There are measures.
Because you going back to fix something you've already fixed, I think sometimes it will be discouraging because I've cleaned the place, you've dirtied it, I've come to clean it again. Don't you think you'll be demotivated? You won't want to pursue that project again?
No, because cleaning is a continuous process. Ever since I was born, I've been brushing my teeth every morning, and I don't get discouraged. Because when we begin to understand that cleaning is not a one-time show, but it's the first thing everybody must do before you step out, then we become very conscious of what we create or the fields we create. So then it will be very difficult for anybody to load and throw the trash on the streets. We are not sanitation conscious. I cited a typical example of accident that happened on NIC towards Anya Road.
Yes.
After the accident, it was a car carrying plastics.
Yeah.
They managed to convey the car and some of the plastic, the plastics that were not broken. And then because we are not sanitation conscious, those that were broken are there as at now. The police was there to make sure everything is in order. But nobody, because we are not sanitation conscious, the trash or the plastics are still on the road as at now. So we need to be very conscious about our environment. Because when you take the environment out of the equation, we are useless.
That's true.
The oxygen, everything that is making this life beautiful is coming from the environment. So we must hold the environment in high esteem in order for our own lives to be better.
Okay.
And sorry,
Sure.
and even if you go to the Western world, those developed countries, you see, regardless their places are very clean, they still continue cleaning. So meaning, you know, for stop cleaning.
I understand, but you see, there are so many places that you would want to embark on, you know, cleaning. It is not just in Accra, right? Across Ghana. And then a particular place is being cleaned, and then you have to go back again and re-clean the place. Don't you think it is going to delay other projects? Don't you think there is something you should do to make sure that the people within that society or community keep the place clean? Because we are Ghanaians. They don't care. The fact that they were not the ones that clean the place, they'll keep dirtying the place. Don't you think there's something you can do about it?
Well, so anytime we clean a place, we leave it in the hands of those who live around to say that we are basically trying to tell you guys that no matter how much you blame leadership, nobody, not even your assemblyman, unless they want your votes, else they will never come down to the drains and clean for you.
True.
And again, too, when there's malaria, cholera, you are the one that suffers. So why not see the cleaning of your own area as a way of preventing yourself from getting sick? So these are some of the words that we tell them, and then we leave it in their care. But you go back and they tell you that I said it, but then I believe for the same reason we continuously learn about, let's say, elective mathematics to get perfect. We must also continue to do what we do, continue to engage the people. Then definitely we'll get to a point where they start to understand. But for now, for over 20 years, over 30 years, we have been doing indiscriminate littering, and it's almost a habit. It has become part of our being now. So it won't take just 2, 3, 4 times cleaning to change the mindset of the people. So, and as a nation too, if we begin pushing a lot of respect to patriotism and, let's say, nationalism, then we can get there someday, sometime.
Right. That is very insightful. I can see how passionate you guys are about these projects. But let's look at instances where you are not motivated, you don't get any support anyway. How do you ensure that internally within your people they are motivated? Because we are humans. I mean, we can't be working without any form of motivation. Even if we are passionate about it, we'll still want to be motivated. What do you do to ensure that your members, you know, keep that high spirit?
Okay, so as much as it's volunteerism, you always make sure that if you join the bus for the say today, your lunch and breakfast, at least those ones there,
you cover that.
Yeah, you get something to eat, so that, because we also do that not just because we want to motivate them, but then somebody might not have not been eating for maybe the whole day, and the person is involved in a tedious work. Before you realize, the person might end up collapsing or something that will bring problems. So we make sure that whether you have eaten or not, breakfast is sorted, and then before we go back to our homes too, the lunch is also sorted.
right?
But when it comes to bus stop boys, everybody do have a day job.
Oh, okay.
So we have immigration officers, we have police officers, we have midwives,
teachers, professional painters,
and all that.
post-NSS graduates.
Wow.
A whole lot. Everybody, basically all walks of life. Everybody. Once you believe Ghana, we can do it, because volunteerism is also has always been part of our spirit. Because I am a fan of history, and I go back and I see where our ancestors were on the streets building railways. And as a matter of fact, all our villages today were built on volunteerism. I grew up in the 90s where the king or the chief of the village would say, "Let's go Yakobo on my toilet," and everybody comes around. Yeah. But then fast forward today, the chiefs are on radio begging politicians to build them toilets.
Right.
And what I was about to say is, when we actually started this journey, I mean, we weren't getting funding or support from anybody. So we supported ourselves from this, from the start of this journey. And as you were saying that if support doesn't come, what will you do? So as I said, there are a lot of people working in bus stop boys. I mean, I would say about 80% are working.
Yeah, I was about to ask that because a lot of people had this perception that most of you were jobless, like you don't have a job. That's why you are, and that is the perception. So you have really debunked that perception.
Yeah, I'm a civil engineer. I do road construction, specifically when it comes to concrete, which is the structural aspect of drains and trapezoidal drains and all of that. That's what I do.
Oh, okay.
Up until bus stop boys, I was on a project from 2019 to 2023. Which is from Bogatanga to Polumakume, 110-kilometer bridges, a road, plus 3 major bridges, one on the White Volta, the Red Volta, and another small river. So it's not like,
this is true.
Aside from that, I'm a farmer.
Wow.
So, that we have a lot that we do for us.
Okay, so we have a comment here. This is from Andy inside Awoshi. He says, what has been the sanitations or government support so far?
So far, we are still in the waiting. We don't know. Maybe they've not seen us, but then we've met the current sanitation minister. We even met her when she was going for vetting.
Okay.
Personally, even invited us to come for witness her vetting process. So maybe she's still preparing.
Hoping that something will come out of that. Yeah. Right. Well, if you just joined us, this is the lifestyle segment of the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. We've been having a conversation with the bus stop boys to understand the power of youth-led volunteerism, getting to know their story. So you can get to us via our WhatsApp number. Send in your comments. I will read them out to them. The bus stop boys are here, oh, Charlie. Don't slack. They are here to answer all your questions for you. Now, we'll be wrapping up shortly, but let me just chip this in. Since you guys are, let me say, sanitation officers, you are concerned about sanitation and the rest. What's your take on the issue of illegal mining in the country?
I think when anybody that hears about illegal mining must stand up and start thinking that, or start assuming that if you don't speak up or say anything now, whether you speak up now or not, in the next 10 years, you are a dead body. Because you can't do anything with that water. And if there's cyanide, there's mercury, all of that in the water, you might say you are fine. But even if you are drinking from borehole, it's still coming from the water beneath the ground. So anything that destroys the environment must be of our topmost concern, because we are the environment and the environment is us. So clearly, when you take water out of the equation, we are dead. That is why science says that the body is 70% water. And the whole planet is also 70% water. That should clearly tell you that you are just a small aspect of the same environment. So you are the earth and the earth is you. You destroy the earth, you destroy yourself. And when you hear anything that destroys water, you must rise up and fight for it, because it's about you.
Well said. Do you also have something to say about Galamsey?
No, I mean, if I start talking, I think I'll end up saying some things. I mean, they should just stop the
They should just stop. Okay, let me take you back to a comment you passed that you don't know if governments, have seen you or not. Now, how would you say the impact of social media has influenced your project?
Oh, 100%. Because before we even started this, I have been a fan of social media. But I'm always saddened by the fact that I go on Chinese platforms and I watch what they do, hardly will you see them putting a lot of energy on negativity or say somebody is naked and all of them are there commenting. You don't see that with the Chinese people. They are always telling you what they can do, artistic, or what their talent is about. So before starting Bus Stop Boy, we have been observing the media for a while. We see that positivity hardly gets the attention that it needs. So even in our space, somebody can just go about half naked twerking and has 1 million views.
It's true.
But then we also came in with another angle, trying to change the motive from thinking that it always has to be the negative aspect that will go viral. And then small, the people start buying into it because originally, within every Ghanaian is a bunch of positivity. But the only problem today is the fact that we have lost track of who we are. You know, so I always say that if they say know yourself, it's just about going into the past and trying to deduce your story. It is only when you get to know that there has been some rich people in your history, some of your ancestors were, for example, Mansa Musa and the rest, then you get inspired to know that, yes, if Mansa Musa was my ancestor, then I can become Elon Musk in the next 20 years. That will push you to do more. So yes, social media has been very powerful, and I always urge every Ghanaian to always remember that you cannot laugh all the time. So if you want to go on social media and look at all the comic things and begin laughing, you cannot laugh when you are 70. You cannot laugh when you are 80. So look out for things that will give you practical tips and practical life, tips, so that when you are 70 or when you are 60, when you are 40, and you can no longer laugh the way you used to laugh. Those knowledge, those tips that you got can also fetch you some coins somewhere. Because I know people who are building things and they learned it from YouTube.
It's true. It's true. On this note, I think I am an automatic member. I want to join.
You are welcome.
We have a comment here. This is from Sewa inside Kaneshi. Please, how can I join the Bus Stop? Oh, okay. We all want to join. How can we join?
It's very simple. When we share everything that we do is on social media. So wherever we're going this week we are likely to step out Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. We share all those details on our platforms.
Are there any requirements?
No, this is purely rising up for your Ghana.
You have to dress in the working gear.
Okay.
Apart from that, there's no requirement. You pay nothing. You fill no form. This is
I
your
should come
country.
with a broom. Nothing. I should just come.
No. Yes, we have brooms. We have. If you want to support us with them, fine. But if you are coming to work, don't worry. We have brooms. We have shovels to give. The only thing you need is to start believing Ghana will be great again.
Right.
And
Yeah. Okay.
that person has to have a change of mind.
It's true.
I
even wanted to ask, how do you handle people of such nature? Hey, how do you handle them on site?
I mean,
so
oh, that's harsh.
Oh, no, it's true, but
if I'm coming to support you and then you tell me that I'll feel some way.
But don't come and discourage us by saying
that is Ghanaians for you.
So stay home, because in the end, when we start entertaining people who goes like words are powerful, and it gets into one or two people's heads, and they began feeling like we can't do it. So we don't entertain. Like I said, we see a lot of negativity, even with regards to what we do. But we believe that once a single person is there saying good job, it's enough to go for another day. So we don't entertain people who come and say,
and even if you come where you see we did a gutter inside we, and also the old team will be to me a church and see my
I see. So the person is asking again, on which days do you normally get the cleaning done, since you say you are workers?
Workers, yes, but given my nature of work, I can't do it alongside. Because even as at now, if not for Bus Stop Boys, I'm supposed to be in Kumasi, the Swami interchange. The engineers there are my colleagues, and that's where I was supposed to be. So I can't do it alongside. So now this is what I do all the time.
So it's like a full-time job.
So every week we do 2 times minimum, 4 times maximum.
Okay.
So this week, for example, we go Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
So how many areas have you cleaned so far?
As at July, which was exactly a year since we began, we've done 253.
200, all in Accra?
No, Kumasi. We have done
Kumasi.
some in Kumasi too, yeah. So now we have a team in Kumasi and we have a team in Abrim. These are the 2 places that we have teams so far.
I see. So you intend expanding?
Yes, wherever you are watching from. It's about the fact that, you see, if you look at the contribution of young people to where we are today as, as planet, it's amazing. You cannot say young people has done nothing. Facebook came about by a young guy. Instagram, YouTube, even AI, which is the second big thing now, was youth. So youth, the involvement of youth in this transformation of the planet is very, very amazing. That is why I keep telling the Ghanaian youth that wherever you find yourself, know that it is us, the youth, who are doing these transformational works that is transforming the planet. So wherever you are seeing us from, if you believe in changing the environment and changing the narrative, you can also start. You don't necessarily have to wait for us to come to your area first. You can start, just as we have Keep Kumasi Clean, they are doing their bit. You have Aboafo doing the same thing. We have another group in Takrade, and we have even Accra, we have some brotherhood there at Kokolobite. You have the Gandangwe boys. All these guys are now doing volunteerism, cleaning their own environment. You can do same wherever you are watching from. So whether we are there or not, the focus or the message to give respect back to the environment, because it is us and we must protect it.
Okay, we have a few comments here. Okay, so Godfred Adam is saying, are there any measures the bus stop boys put in place to ensure? Okay, I think I've asked that already. We will see you working together with Zoom Lion. You are doing a great job. So do you work in collaboration with sanitation companies like Zoom Lion?
Yeah, we've done one collaboration with them at East Lagos Pentex Underpass. Yeah, so once they show interest, it's not just about us, it's about saying that 67 years is a long time. And if not for anything, let's put sanitation in where the right place, where it's supposed to be. So anybody that believes it's not, all we are interested in is to see the environment clean. And however or whoever gets it clean, we don't care. It's about getting it
clean. Are there any future initiatives, like future projects? Maybe you intend opening a school or a company, sanitation company for people? Because I mean, listening to you, I have gotten this kind of zeal to join. We don't really get people to tell us these things, maybe the essence of keeping your environment clean and blah, blah, blah. Don't you think moving forward you should do something like that?
Okay, even as at now, we have what we call lightening up the city. That is also another aspect where we are saying we can also, get to people who also believe so much in Ghana. 1 city, 2 city, or if you buy us the street light and then we fix it somewhere. So that is another thing we are doing now. But of course, in the future, we must get to the point where it becomes a business, so that these guys, those who don't have, there are 20% part of us who don't have jobs, can get something to do. That way, then we can assign somebody to, let's say, Achimota, and say that, okay, whether we are working or not, make sure that you always go around Achimota to make sure everything is in order. So we must get there. And if government is listening, at least they can give us some places as contracts, and then we do it to show them what is possible. If it is fine to their liking, then they can extend it. Eventually, sanitation alone can employ about 40% of this population, because Europe, over 40% has been employed in direct sanitation works. We can do same here, and if we get to that point, nobody will worry about who needs to keep well clean, because the people themselves will do the need.
And we have about 4 signatures, especially when you have to come to a sanitation in Ghana. Okay. If you go to Achimota, I mean, him saying the government should give us a contract. So if you go to Achimota, if you go to Ablekuma, if you go to Namiche, I mean, they can see the works, and social media too is also telling us something. Yeah. So it's clear. It's clear. We can do even better than this, especially if you have the right tools and the right equipment.
Right. Yeah. So if someone wants to support you, what can the person do, or how does the person reach you guys?
Okay, the person can DM us on all our platforms, but we can also give out a number to the person.
Please give out your number.
Okay, so it's my own number anyway, 0546 442747. 0546 442747. Any form of support, from overalls to nose masks to hand gloves, to pressure washer, to mini excavator, to anything. We are ready to make Ghana like Rwanda. We are the gateway to Africa, and we must keep the gate clean to hold our power. If indeed we are the gateway to Africa, then we must be the cleanest city in the world, not Rwanda.
It's true. It's true. Your last words.
Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. Your nation demands your devotion and respect. If you don't arise now, you only give up or you only blame yourself at 60 when you are weak and dying. So let's get up now. Let's secure our future, because yes, in the next 10, 20 years, whatever the fortunes of this country may be, you and I stand to suffer or we stand to cry. So let's use our energy positively, because no man will be strong forever.
Right. I forgot to introduce you guys individually, so could you please do that?
Okay,
Your
so
name?
my name is Heneba Kwejo Safo.
Heneba
I'm the
Kwejo.
lead and the founder.
Single or married?
Married.
And you?
And I'm James Nanaya Safo. You can call me Mr. Safo. I'm the vice president or the
Okay.
vice chairman of
Okay.
Pastor Boys.
Single, married, engaged.
Single, but
You should be single.
but I didn't.
Right. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. We are so much pleased to have you on the show today. We will also continue to spread the good news, the good works you guys are doing. We are so privileged to have such people in our communities. God richly bless you.
Thank you.
Can I hear a resounding amen?
Amen. Amen.
Right, so this is where we end the conversation here on the lifestyle segment. I am Miriam Abena Adede. I did this conversation with the Bastop Boys, understanding the role of volunteerism. They gave us their story. You can follow them via their social media platforms at Bastop Boys to get to know more about their works. Now, up next, we have amazing personalities as usual to celebrate. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday. I heard today was your birthday.
And you're welcome back. Now, let's have our birthday celebrant of the day. Our first birthday celebrant is Margaret. A happy birthday to Margaret of the University of Eliklim Kwashi. Happy birthday to my beautiful friend. God bless you. And this is from your mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Mantilabi. We wish our son, Obrimpong Dennis Mantilabi Jr., a happy belated birthday. We ask for God's protection over his life from his mom and dad, Mr. and Mrs. Mantilabi. This is also from your cousin, Ethan and Ivan Arthur. Happy birthday, Jaden Arthur. We wish you Numbers chapter 6, verse 24 to 26, with good health. Amen. Okay. And this is also from No Fear family. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays and a fantastic year ahead with good health. Happy birthday, Nelly. We love you. This is from Sean. Happy birthday, Elvis Bentel. Greatness awaits you. And this is also from Sean Breezy. Happy birthday, Na Bibio Cassandra. Wishing you long life and happiness, prosperity. Okay. This is also from Bernard. A happy birthday to my Empress, Elom. May you continue to enjoy God's grace and blessings. And a special one going to somebody's favorite. A happy birthday, darling. May this year be as incredible as you are, and may our love continue to flourish. I pray for long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity for you, honey. Continue being amazing. I love you, my big baby. Oosh. And this is also from Auntie Sandra. Blissful happy birthday to you, Efia Echa Ej Date. May you be greater than your peers. Live well and live long. Much love. Glorious birthday to you, Rosh Owusu. You will impact your generation positively. Much love. And this is from the 2019-2020 Accountant Students Association Executive Committee. Another door has been opened for the access of amazing packages. Your life has brought a lot of joy unto humanity. May you continue to flourish in all your doings. Happy, glorious birthday to you. Pro, remain ever blessed. And this is from Josephine. God bless and grant you more grace to do exploits. Anita Nana Ajwa Obenewa Kwache. A happy, hilarious birthday to my beautiful, adorable daughter, Nora Ikuya Shamira Sadiq. May Adom Nyame continue to bless you. Stay blessed. My name is Derek, and I am wishing happy birthday to my lovely father, Cephas Jamesi. May he live long, and God should grant him wisdom for me. And this is from Ahrenepa and Kasa family. A happy birthday to an amazing friend. Today we celebrate you and all the joy you bring into our lives. Your kindness, laughter, and unwavering support mean the world to us. We are so grateful for every moment we've shared and all the memories yet to come. May this year bring you endless opportunities, adventure, and happiness. Cheers to you and another year of being fabulous. Enjoy your special day. This is also from Ahrenepa Kasa family. Today we celebrate you and all the amazing moments we've shared. Your friendship means the world to us, and we are so grateful to have you in our lives. Here's to more adventures, laughter, and unforgettable memories. May this year bring you happiness, success, and everything you've been wishing for. This is from your best woman. A happy birthday to the best man ever. Today I celebrate not just your birthday, but the incredible person you are. Your loyalty, humor, and support have made a lasting impact on my life. May this smile never fade, and may this year bring you as much happiness as you've given to those around you. Here's to more adventures, laughter, and unforgettable memories together. Cheers to you on your special day. I love you and I need you to survive. We love you too. And a special birthday to our very own loyal viewer, Obiba Wilson. We say God richly bless you for, your continuous love and support to the show. We love you so, so, so much. Okay, so this is another special request. Let me read it again. Another door has been opened for the access of amazing packages. Your life has brought a lot of joy unto humanity. May you continue to flourish in all your doings. Happy, glorious birthday to you, Pro. Remain ever blessed. This is to PRO, our very own Obiba Wilson, 2019-2020 Accountant Students Association Executive Committee. Obiba, we say God richly bless you. May you live long. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. So send us the location, okay? Right, so this is where we end the birthday segment here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show. I am Miriam Abena Adede. Now, up next is our main discussion. Yaira and her guest are going to be delving into issues of Galamsey. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ambre. Ambre. Ambre.
Many men shall die because of the greedy of another man, yeah, worldwide. Many men shall die.
The Ghanaian populace that many men shall die if we do not take care, if we do not check this issue of galamsey. Today's conversation is about galamsey, balancing the risk and opportunities that galamsey also poses. We have two guests, and my very first guest here with me in the studio is in the person of Mr. Solomon Ajao. He's the Regional Secretary of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association of the Greater Accra Region. So the Greater Accra Region's, what's the word? Sector or division? Yes, Greater Accra Region's division. And he has a Master of Health, Public Health, and he's also a registered nurse. And our other guest on standby is also in the person of Professor Emmanuel Ahen. He's the former dean and acting head of the Department of Geological Science at the University of Energy and Natural Resources. So let's get familiar with Mr. Solomon for now. A little later, we will be speaking with Professor Emmanuel Ahin on phone. He'll be joining us in the conversation. As you know, we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube, so don't forget to send in your comments to our live stream. We'll read them out loud, and of course, onto our WhatsApp number that is displayed on your screen. Send your questions, send all your suggestions, send your thoughts, and please make sure to keep it decorous. I beg you. And then also, any questions you have for the professor or for Mr. Solomon, you can also send them here now. So, yes, Mr. Solomon Najao, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and good morning to yourself.
Good morning to you too. I'm sure they are glad we are having a conversation on Galamsey today.
Yeah.
So you're part of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, which is a labor union. So should we say you are representing our whole organized labor?
Oh no, organized labor. I mean, Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwife Association is a trade union which is part of organized labor.
Okay.
So in my capacity here, I'm representing a section of it. So I'm representing nurses and midwife in Greater Accra region.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
We were hoping maybe you just...
No, for organized labor, they have their leadership that speak for them.
And by the way, I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're on a campaign.
Yes, I really love it. I'm also in my red and black.
Yes,
something small. So let's go quickly into it. We've been talking about Galamsey, and some people may have heard it, but they may not really be able to define it. So if you can do that for us.
Okay, so first of all, let me say a very good morning to all nurses and midwives in the country, particularly Greater Accra Regional Nurses and Midwives. Also my regional executive, who have been a very supportive team to me. Back to the question, when we talk about Galamsey, first of all, let's all understand and appreciate that issues of mining has always been with us. We've been mining gold, diamond, manganese, bauxite, and everything. But people decided to move into small-scale mining where they were being given certain certificates or authority to mine for a certain period. Then we had other people who decided to go into our forest to mine illegally. And see, the word Galamsey, I'm being told it's a corrupted word, is gather and sell. You understand? So when you look at the illegal mining, these are people who don't have license, who have not been authorized to go into our forests and to go to our water bodies and everything to mine. Because for safe mining, it has always been with us. People have been mining for more than 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. And I mean, for us as a country, we've been benefiting from these mining. I mean, gold is one of our largest exporting of the produce that we get from mining. So mining itself has always been with us. But illegal mining in recent times has been a topical issue because of all the effects that we are all experiencing.
So can you touch briefly on the current state of illegal mining, or even if its effects here in the country?
You see, let's also look at the primary cause why people decided to, I mean, poverty largely is one of the contributing.
I always say that during reviews.
And
the current state of the illegal mining now, would you say that it has brought it to us to the point where we may not even be able to check it?
Oh yes, trust me. When you look at illegal mining, the effects on us, you can group it physical, mental, environmental effects and all that. But when we look at we have the physical effect, we are talking about it having neurological effects on babies that are being born. So they go to school, they are not well, I mean, up there in terms of their intelligence, quotient and everything.
We will come to, I'm asking about how bad it is right now.
It's very bad. It's very, very, very bad. hitherto where we thought that these are farming communities have been destroyed, and they are using it as galamsey sites. Our lands are being destroyed, our water bodies are being destroyed. I mean, Ghana Water coming up with statement that they are not able to process good drinking water for our people. So the effects and the situation is very bad, and we must not play with it. As a country, we must see it as a common enemy, and we must all come together to fight it.
Okay. So since you are from the Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, I'm sure you'll be able to touch on the health impacts that it would have on our citizens here. So
I mean, that is our concern, because we are responsible nurses and midwives who attend to our people in terms of health-related issues. So we see these cases. We have colleagues who are working in these communities, and the reports that we are getting there is very disheartening. It's not something that we should sit in the comfort of our homes and be laughing or be happy about it. That is why the leadership of Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, led by Mrs. Perpetual Forian-Poff as the president, we are waging a campaign that we should stop galamsey. We should ban all skill mining, even for now.
Yes, until the issue is...
Yes, because there are being proposals, and we need some steps to address it. If policymakers, if those who have the power to implement them are not ready, then there should be a total ban on it, so that we can save our water bodies, we can save our communities, we can save our women, we can save our children, we can save the older people in our communities.
Okay, but would you also say that there have been benefits? I mean, aside the export thing, that is even for the more of the large scale, because if we take out the small scale and then the galamsey, I'm sure our large scale mining could still account for some of the gold exports. Are there any positive effects of galamsey?
I mean, I wouldn't be here and say yes. I mean, when you look at the extent of devastation to our communities, our lands, and the people, I wouldn't be here and be glorifying someone's money that he or she is getting from this illegal thing. First of all, we've established it's illegal. So why then do we want to now look at the benefit? We are not benefiting as a country. We are not benefiting. It's just going to individuals' pockets. So as a country or as a people, our concern should be that if it's for our collective interest, let's safeguard the lands. Let's safeguard our water bodies. But for the benefits, people are benefiting from it. We are here in Accra, we are waging a strong campaign. The people in the community, they are directly involved in it. If they are to get any money, you and myself, we are not part.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we have some videos as well. If our producers can probably show us some of the effects that galamsey has had on our lands and even our rivers so far. Okay, so with I've seen a few videos and interviews where they talk about what the pollution of these rivers do to us. So I'm sure, being in the medical field, if you can give us the gravity of this situation, especially to our health, we will be really grateful. The mercury and things.
The mercury issue that I talk about, mercury, when used in mining, it goes into poison the water that we use. And the cost effect in terms of refining it to a potable water for us to drink is expensive. And when these people, some communities drink up from stream, they don't have the benefit of Ghana Water Company, preparing the water for them. So some go fetch directly and drink it. So if there's deposit of mercury, cyanide in it, it goes to affect them. What are the organs that we are looking at here? We have upper respiratory infections, we have kidney issues that are going to come in. So we are looking at the short, medium, and long-term effects. You understand? And we have records, increasing records of skin infections being recorded in those communities. It's all because of the effect of these chemicals in our water bodies. Those water are being used for cooking, for drinking, for, I mean, even those who are still engaging in farming, it's those polluted water that they are using. So in those communities, cases of skin infection is on the rise. Upper respiratory infections are there. You have kidney issues coming up. You may not know, you may not see it now, but people start reporting. And before you get to the end stage of renal diseases, for you to be on dialysis and everything, we have acute phases and all those things. And we can attribute the root cause to some of these things.
Okay. So as a health professional, can you take us through the process of, I remember watching some of the documentaries, and then they were talking about how our bodies excrete, literally waste substances, right? And it's like, if these substances or these heavy metals are in certain quantities in our bodies, it becomes difficult to excrete. So if you can take us through the scientific way those things happen.
Okay. So this one is more or less like...
Yeah. So that
you see,
our viewers will understand.
So what we are talking about is that when you look at the human anatomy, what we call human anatomy in our science is basically how physically you appear. Whatever you take in, fluid and everything, we have exit points in our body. Particularly fluid, it has to be process because you need some to also build up your muscles to help it function and to other parts of the organs. For the body to excrete, you need a good functioning kidney, the kidney to function well. So if you have a lot of deposits of this poison, that's the mercury, the cyanide, and all the lead and all those things, chemicals in the water, it builds up in the kidney. At some point, the kidney cannot excrete these heavy metals. These are heavy metals. So then it begins to give you that problem that you'll be experiencing. And kidneys, as human beings, we have only two. It is very expensive to transplant a kidney. You must get not less than $30,000, not Ghana cedis, to transplant one kidney.
So in a situation where somebody is dealing with accumulated heavy metals in their body, what is the way forward for them? Is there some sort of hydration, maybe a lot of saline, or some sort of surgery that has to take place for them?
Obviously, you need to, we encourage hydration. That's in a lot of fluids.
But even the fluid is poison.
Exactly. So what's the end point here? So, but if you are not careful, you will end up needing this transplant, having these kidney issues, liver issues, that will also have some disposition in terms of your function of your body. You may not function well. Imagine you having issues, your eyes are very yellow, you have swollen feet and everything. You can't move about and everything. And those are signs of kidney issues. Liver will be evident in yellowish eyes and all those things and everything. So if these chemicals are being deposited in our body, it becomes difficult for the body to excrete it. Maybe from the onset, it will be trying, but as time goes on, it builds up. So in that community, which potable water are you going to even get to, as it were, to say that you are washing the kidney?
Okay. So again, still on the health impact, how can you give us a little information on how these kinds of poisoned waters react with the medications we also take? Some
impede the mechanical action of some of the pharmaceutical things that we take. If you are on certain drugs and you have these chemicals being introduced into your system, the desired results will not be achieved because it will react with it. And we know more or less like acid, base, and salt. We were talking the basic things. So the reaction, counter reactions that will come in. So you are expected to get a particular result because you are fighting a particular condition or a certain condition. But the treatment will be impeded because of the presence of other heavy metals. You understand? So for instance, if I'm a diabetic and I need to take my medication twice a day, and I'm going to take this poison or polluted water, which have deposits of these heavy metals, the chemical reaction, you and I cannot see with our physical eyes, but will not be achieving the desired result of keeping me alive throughout for the next phase of life.
Okay.
You understand? So also in the food that are coming in, that they are using this water to
water the crops.
The crops and all those things. So even those of us in Accra, we question certain foods that we eat or we buy at the roadside. We buy some salad, you're like, hey, which water are they using to?
Wash it.
So now that we can't tell what is happening to our food crops, we should be worried.
Yeah.
It should be something that all of us should be interested as a people that will fight it. Let's see it as a common enemy, devoid of politics.
Yeah.
Religious bodies, then traditional, we have stakeholders that can speak and that can work and must work. We have the government who is having the authority to implement these things. The ministries, the mineral commissions, the sector minister and everything is there. But we must come in as responsible citizens to push for these things. If we just speak to it as a talk show and everything, and we leave it there, it ends there. There are campaigns that other agencies must also embark on. I'm sure we'll touch on all those things. People that must move in, that's the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, that needs to educate the people, the effect of these chemicals when deposited. Imagine you giving birth to a child.
I was just about to ask the effects on even a pregnant woman and her unborn child as well, but
yes, like I was saying, it has this neurological effect, which affect them mentally. So growth retardation. When we say someone is retarded, it doesn't mean that the person can go to school, can be very sharp. He or she can be taught in classroom, but when it comes to whatever he was taught in the day, he has forgotten. You understand? So neurologically, what has to do with your cognitive development, it will be affected. These chemicals goes in to affect it negatively, not positively.
Okay.
And imagine in the next 10, 15 years, all the people coming out, when you teach them in class, you ask them questions, they will answer. You think you are done, you give them assignment, they go home.
Yeah, they can't
do it. Or at the exams hall, realize that you are producing worse students just because they can't think right, they can't reason and appreciate issues in context to even profess solutions. Okay. So it has dire consequences in our education, our finances, our health, and for our pregnant women. This woman is trying to bring a life into this world. Why should she go through all these months? 9 months. 10 months, actually. We see it as 10 months. 40 weeks. So obviously it's 10 months. But for us, we all know it's 9 months. 10 months with all these things. And she has to go through, give birth, and the child comes in with deformed, some deformities, Down syndrome, and all those that we have in it.
Okay. So before we continue, we have the professor on the line. Hello, Professor Emmanuel Ahin. Oh, okay. We've lost him. I'm sure our producers will be doing what they can to get him back. So yes, back to the health of a pregnant woman and her unborn child. We've seen a few photos of the baby born but inadequate limbs and things like that. Are they also effects of this heavy metal poisoning? Yes, obviously. We can't shy away from it. It has effects. One, it goes in because the fetus in utero, that's in the uterus or the womb, feeds on what the mother eats. So if the mother is eating poisonous foods, contaminated foods, the child has no option. So the child will be born with some deformities, with some skin infection, retarded growth and everything. So you have all normal children at the pace they are supposed to grow, their weight, their skin color, the texture and everything. This child will be, will not be getting these things that is supposed to come up with. So these are some of the things that pregnant women go through to give birth, or what we have to say. So we have our professor back on the line. Good morning, Professor Ahin. Oh, we keep losing him. Sorry. And let me just add, you see, the presence of mercury and other poisonous
also increases the risks of miscarriage, birth defects, stillbirth, and everything. So in the short term, we'll see these things, miscarriages, people get pregnant, they are not able to keep it to the expected months of delivery, then they expel, or naturally or in some way, they'll lose their babies.
Yeah.
So the effects on pregnant women, particularly stillbirth, you give birth within a short period, either the child will die in utero or fresh stillbirth, that's when giving birth, the child dies. So these are things that we are picking from such communities that is on the rise, it's on ascendancy. So if we don't step in, and the only thing that we can do is to wage this campaign that Stop Galamsey now.
Wow, thank you so much. So we have our second guest on the line, and as I mentioned earlier, he's in the person of Professor Emmanuel Ahin, the former Dean and Acting Head of the Department of Geological Science at the University of Energy and Natural Resources. Hello, Professor Ahin. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us here on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show.
Thank you for having me.
So let's get quick into it. We are talking about Galamsey, balancing the risk and, of course, the opportunity. And we want to see if we can touch a little bit on mining in general. If you can tell us something small about mining in general and some of its impacts it can have on our society.
Thank you very much. I think I'll begin with this incident that happened when Jesus Christ was crucified and buried. And then Mary and other women went to the tomb, and the angel there asked them, "Why are you looking for the living among the dead?" I'm going to relate this one to what we are referring to as Galamsey.
Okay.
Galamsey doesn't exist in Ghana.
Okay. Why do you say that, please?
And yeah, I'm just trying to give you that. Explain that one. Yeah. In 1989, was when Galamsey died and was buried. That was when the first formalization of the artisanal small-scale mining sector started. Now, if you pick all our books, you will never see Galamsey.
Okay.
People were mining gold for livelihood purposes. So they were using rudimentary tools in getting the gold. So the government realized that the need to change the livelihood or change the economy of some people could be done properly by formalizing the system. So they set up a legal framework, and they reserved this session only to Ghanaians and Ghanaians above the age of 18. Here, they started by giving maybe 3-acre plots to about 4 or 5 people to mine with pickaxes and shovels. And they give 25 acres to those that were considered working as a corporate group. So the 25 acres, they were supposed to use a local increment in getting the gold. And the number of years for that was 25 years. So well-defined system. And during those times, we never heard of pollution of food or pollution of water. I also of the state gold mining companies that we had before then. An example is Tunkwao those thoughts. They were dredging offering, but nobody heard that offering got polluted.
Okay.
So the point I want to make here is the mining methods. Why was it that they were dredging offering and then offering never got polluted? That is one. The second point I want to make here is Minerals Commission don't give concessions to small-scale mining companies in the forest reserve. Neither do they give concessions to small-scale companies on water bodies. These areas, if they will be the large-scale mining company, where they believe they will use the right mining methodologies to get a good out. So, if now we have people working on the water bodies, I would say they are illegal and they must be arrested and prosecuted. As we would do to any thief who steals somebody's items, will be arrested and prosecuted. So if we have people working on the water bodies, I can assure you that those people don't have any license to operate there from Minerals Commission. So they can be considered as thieves and must be arrested, prosecuted, and whatever punishment that they deserve be given to them. The second thing I want to say on the mining is, take yourself as a rice farmer. You've cultivated your farm, the rice is doing well, and then wheat comes in. Your yield will depend on how well you deal with what? With the wheat. Until you deal with the wheat, you don't expect to get a bumper harvest. So, what is happening in our artisanal small-scale mining sector? If we really want to address this issue, we need to get rid of the weeds. And the weeds are the Galamsey people that do not exist in our books. They are going contrary to the laws. And after we're done with them, then we can look at the right, that is, those that have been given licenses to check whether they are obeying what is enshrined in the legal framework. So I think this is what I will tell you when it comes to mining and as my introduction.
Okay. So would you say that the only difference between the artisanal small-scale mining and Galamsey would be the fact that the people engaging in Galamsey are engaging in that with regards to our river bodies and our forests?
Nobody had given those areas to them. So if they are operating there, then they are operating illegally.
Okay.
And we need to get rid of them.
Okay. So do we not stand a risk of small-scale miners also emulating what the Galamseyers are embarking on, because they are also finding some sort of gold in the river bodies as well? How then do we get the weeds out in this situation?
Well, I have had an encounter with the small-scale mining association, their leadership and their members, and they are even more worried because that is the work that they have taken. They respect what is enshrined in the legal framework and will not do anything contrary to what is in the books. So if some people claim to be small-scale miners and have been given licenses by Minerals Commission, the minister has signed. They have somebody who monitors their operation. And I doubt whether they are also in this mess.
Okay.
Anybody that does anything contrary to what is enshrined in the law is a thief, is stealing.
Okay.
And maybe let me add this one to it. The 2006 law on mining and mineral, or Act 703, okay, repeats what we have in PNDC law 218. But there has been some other legislation, LI, that they have added on, because if we are still supposed to use the rudimentary tools as a small-scale mining company, then we will not be able to get the gold that we need. So there has been some revisions whereby service companies are supposed to help in the mining of the gold.
Okay.
But here, what I see as something that when we brought that legislation, we did not include it, is that if we are using pickaxes and shovels to do, you use 5 years. But if we are asking that we use heavy moving equipment, then the 25 acres will be woefully inadequate. The bulldozer will use 2 weeks to mine that area. And if it happens so, the people that are supposed to monitor and evaluate the operation, by the time they get there, the people have finished and run away. So what I want to suggest moving forward is that the size of the concession must be increased. If we still want to maintain the small scale, then we need to move a ladder up, whereby we can have a medium scale. Increase the size maybe up to 1 square kilometer instead of 25 acres. 1 square kilometer will be 250 acres. And here, their operations must be monitored. 25 acres, 250 acres, where are you going to mine? It means you need to embark on geological exploration.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And through that work, you'll be able to identify which area on the concession hosts the gold. Then you'll be able to know the number of years that you will mine it. And you'll be able to come out with the appropriate mining method. All these things were not considered when we said that people should use what? Bulldozers and excavators to mine the gold. And I think this is one of the limitations that we need to look at if we want to create this particular system which everybody is complaining about.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So with your background in geoscience, what are some of the solutions, or so to say, repairing, or let me use the word, to repair any damage that is caused after mining, whether on the large scale or small scale?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, everybody is complaining about the muddy rivers that we have in the country now. But what I can tell you is that it's not only muddy waters that pose the problem. We can have clean waters that are giving us more problems than the muddy water. Because the muddy water, once you see its color, you will not take it to drink. But there might be some clean waters that contains certain chemicals that will be so harmful to people's development. Okay, so I am not afraid of the muddy waters, but I'm afraid of clean waters that has been polluted. My colleague that you interacted with a moment ago was mentioning some diseases that have become prevalent in our systems. And those diseases that he mentioned do not even come from this small-scale mining environments. I have done a work in that research. I spoke about the origin of non-communicable diseases. The hidden peril is something that we've not looked at. I have looked at some areas where there hasn't been any mining activity. And the result that I had from the soils showed high toxicities of arsenic. And I asked myself, how come? So I look at the rocks in that area and realize that those rocks do not contain arsenic. The amount of arsenic are so low that it will not get the opportunity to get to the soils where the readings that I got was very toxic. And exposure to this element leads to non-communicable diseases. Hypertension, diabetes become as a result of exposure to these elements. They are in the trace form, but the more you eat the food from there, you drink the water from such environment, it might accumulate in your system. And there is no clinical diagnostic machine that can pick it at that level. The time that the medical doctors will see you've gotten to the tipping point. And if you have checked on the airways recently, Comfort Noche, people did something and they said that about 70% of deaths that occur at the hospital, they were not able to identify the sources. And these are some of them. Okay?
Yeah.
The use of pesticides, the use of weedicides, the use of herbicides are polluting the environment, not just the small scale what they are operating. And another thing I can give to you is that you are a lady. If you kill chicken, there is a trace that you try to be very careful not to spoil the meat. So that is the bile, and it's very close to the juiciest part of the chicken, isn't it? So when it comes to gold in Ghana or gold in the Birimian system is found associated with sulfide minerals, and God has hidden them in the deep environment. It's not at the surface. But because we are looking for the gold which is deep-seated, we bring these materials up. And then when they get exposed to water, wind, they get transformed and then get to the soils and get to the water bodies. We cultivate our crops in there. We eat them. These trace elements accumulate in our bodies. And it will stay there as we continue to live in such environment. We get this non-communicable disease that today is the leading mortality in Ghana.
Yes, thank you so much.
So I'm just coming to make the last one. If we want to save humanity, the approach should be what? Prevention. Today, prevention is the new curative. Will we be able to map out the hotspot of these disease-causing elements? If we can do so, we'll be able to advise the farmers not to cultivate there, so that people in Accra who are far away from the farm areas will not be eating, pay money for food, and at the end of it, get sick and die. So prevention is the way forward.
Well,
before we even think of remediation, which people will be talking about.
Yes. So, I mean, the effects of mining, we already seen them. So I was asking if you have any curative measures. Yes, curative was the word I was looking for, that we could employ now, maybe for even from the large-scale miners all the way to the artisanal small-scale miners as well. If they are maybe filling up the pits they dig or replanting some afforestation, those kinds of measures, could they be taken into consideration and then put in place?
Yes, we have an idea, but it's not as simple as such.
Okay.
Okay? If you bring these chemicals that are not supposed to be at the surface environment, first you need to identify which areas have been polluted. It's not everywhere. And pollution in what? It is then that you can come out with the right remediation method. Okay? So what I would suggest we do is we carry out National Geochemical Survey to identify the disease-causing element areas. That one is shouldn't be from the mining side, because it's the mining and agri that are giving us this hell.
Yeah.
So I've been hearing people saying ban this galamsey. I would say then add farming also to it. And these are the two areas that our GDP depends on. We need to get the experts to work.
Okay.
The media have done their part. They have created the awareness. It is time for us to get the experts to do their work. And if that one is done, this problem can be solved. Mincom, the people that monitor this thing, the legal framework is there. If you are not going by that one, they will have to revoke your license.
Yeah. So with the people engaging in the small-scale mining or even galamsey, as you said, does not exist, what are some of the alternatives that you think the government can put in place if we are trying to get them to stop whatever activities they are embarking on, especially in our rivers and in our forest reserves? What are some of the alternatives we can think about to give to the government to put in place for them?
I think that was what I began with.
Yeah.
Those people working there are not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
They are, I will call them thieves. I don't want to use the word illegal.
Yeah.
Those in the forest, okay, if they are small scale, Minerals Commission, don't give them concession.
Okay.
So if you can reflect over the rice farm distance, clean the weeds first. We need to clean the weeds.
Yes, but
we need to arrest those people.
Somebody would also say that it is their source of livelihood and things, you know, the lack of employment and issues like that. So with that, they may say that you are also preventing somebody from getting their daily bread. That is why I was asking.
I think that cannot be an excuse.
Okay.
Because of your livelihood, you want the 30 million Ghanaians to perish. I don't think we need to accept that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that is not the way forward. Okay. But what I would say, maybe to the government, I heard this morning that they are doing something, they are flushing certain people out from where they are. And other people are also saying, Pra is polluted. That means Pra from the source to where it empties into the sea. Likewise, they say the same thing about Ofin.
Yes.
While I'm talking to you now, I'm just 2 kilometers from Ofin, around in Felicity, and the water there is as clean as anything. But they are mining there. They are mining clay for bricks and tiles. How come that side of the offense is not polluted? It comes back to the mining methods. I mentioned the Upago salt dredging offering, and nobody complained about offense being polluted. So there is a mining method that people are using illegally and must be arrested. Because something some fine they put in there, and that is what is causing the problem. Arrest them, prosecute them. And then when we get them, we'll find a way. If it's livelihood, I think government must think how to make sure that the people get something to do.
Okay. Thank you. So we have a comment here. This one says, Yaira, I think if we focus on community education, regulatory enforcement, sustainable mining practices, environmental remediation, and responsible corporate engagement, Ghana can begin to make meaningful strides in curbing the detrimental effects of Galamsey. Thank you very much. This is from our very own Obiba Wilson. So, Mr. Solomon, I would also like to ask if you can touch on some of the social intervention policies that can be implemented for a situation like this.
So, thank you. I think Prof touched on a number of things that if hitherto we reiterate, it will go a long way to save us.
Yeah.
That notwithstanding, we can also consider regular health screening for these community that are engaged in mining.
Yeah.
There has to be regular screening for them. We must also embark on campaigns on safe mining.
Yeah.
You understand? Prof made a statement that, I mean, the mining has been with us. Big companies were mining, but our water bodies were not polluted.
Yes.
So we have safe mining that will go a long way to protect our water body and also reduce the health risks. I think we also have to improve on access to healthcare services in such communities, because as they are being exposed to these chemicals, these poisons and everything, they should be assessed. Like he said, sometimes in those communities, they don't have the expert, that's the medical doctors, the physician assistants, and this thing, who are qualified to even pick these conditions from the onset. If you are lucky enough for that condition to be picked enough, then you have treatment. But if you miss out and it stays within your body for a long time, by the time you get in, we will not be talking about the acute phase. We will be talking about the chronic phase, and nothing will be done about it.
Okay.
Yes. So I think and also the last one for me is that we have to strengthen regulations. We have to strengthen regulations concerning mining from the Minerals Commission, from the ministries and everything, and the task force that are currently on the site. They must not stop their work. They must enforce that those who have certificates and licenses to mine do safe mining. Those who don't have, like Prof said, they should be arrested and prosecuted. I would say they should flush them out. However they will do it, they should just take them out.
Prof, hello, Prof.
Hello.
Yes, thank you for standing by. I would also like to ask, are there any challenges that this mining has posed onto your field of study?
Yeah, the point is, I was at first a mineral exploration geologist.
Okay.
I've worked with Ashanti, with Newmont, and many other companies. I have also worked with some small-scale mining companies, a few of them, that want to do the right thing. Because if you have a 25-acre concession, and you think there is gold everywhere, you will throw your good monies away. Yeah. There are so many of them that have lost monies. And that could be the reason why they disturb or degrade the environment without doing anything, because all their income had gone into the trade. So the challenges that these people are having is how they'll be able to carry out an exploration work to identify where the gold or the mineral is. Many of them want to do the right thing, but funding has been a problem for them going forward. I have even proposed in one of my papers that if you have a 25-acre plot and it's an alluvial, you only need 5 states to evaluate that 25 acres to be sure whether the concession given to you by Minerals Commission is worth it for you to go into mining. Okay? So, yes, there are a whole lot of challenges, and the challenge is people carrying out exploration to know where the gold is for them to mine.
Okay.
I hope I've answered your question. Or you?
Yes, please. So kindly.
If not,
pardon?
Yeah, I'm saying if not, I can expatiate on it.
Oh, thank you very much. That's fine. Please hold on while I read a few comments and questions that are here. So this is from Obiba Wilson. He says, we need to combat Galamsey like we are at war as a country. Thank you for your comments. Rose Entertainment also says, very soon Ghana will be sued by the international communities for polluting the sea with Galamsey water. It's just a matter of time. D&J Ventures also says, in fact, Galamsey is destroying our water bodies, causing some communicable diseases and death. Truth be told, truth be told, the sponsors of this menace are known by the government, and yet they are wasting their energy on mere laborers. Please fight the sponsors, not the laborers. And then also we have Nicholas Forsen saying, cheers to Professor Ahen. Thank you so much for your comments. So this is also from Akosia and Kanishi. She's asking, can we quantify the monetary value of small-scale miners to the contribution of the economy of Ghana? So if any of you would like to answer. Okay, Prof, if you can take this, then Mr. Solomon would also.
Yes, I think the contribution of the Lansing small-scale to Ghana's GDP is huge. It's huge. But I cannot say the same thing to those who are doing Galamsey. I don't think a thief will steal something and bring it to the open market to sell. Okay? So there has been an instance that PMNC, who buys the gold from the small-scale people, come out of gold that they have purchased over the year, and then we get a conflicting numbers from Dubai, where many of these gold from Ghana goes to.
Yeah.
So we don't have any option. The option that we have, whether those working on the water bodies in the forest reserve that have not been granted to them by Minerals Commission, have some powerhouses behind them. Let's arrest the people. And when you arrest the people, they will bring out the people that are sponsoring them. And we can do justice to them. That is the intelligence or informalizing what is confronting us as a country. Arrest them, prosecute them, if you have to jail them, but not the small ones. There are big people as being speculated.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. I think you also answered a little earlier, but if you have any more to...
Oh, I think I tend to agree with Prof. When a thief steals something, he will not bring it to the open market for you to quantify it or to even know the worth of money that he's getting. So for small-scale money that are being regulated, of course, we are benefiting, and the impact on the economy is huge, as Prof stated. So I tend to agree with that.
Okay. So, Prof, one last question before we we set you free. So can you touch a little bit on the economic impacts that this is having on Ghana, this Galamsey issue?
Well, I think, was it on the 5th? I was on Joy TV.
Okay.
When Ghana Water reported about the changes in the turbidity levels from 14,000 to 9,000. Okay? That was a sign of recovery. But then, the waters that comes to our house for us to drink are as clean as snow. It tells you the processes that goes through. Huge sums of money. But remember, those people living in the villages don't have the tap water that has been worked upon by Ghana Water.
Yeah.
Many of them depend on the groundwater. So if the rivers there have been made muddy, I don't want to talk about the chemicals that are in those rivers. It affects the groundwater. And And then when people bring that groundwater, it will have impact on their health. So apart from Ghana Water crying over huge sums of money that goes into it, we are also increasing the health burden. People will drink this water because that is what they have. They will get stomach ache, dysentery. Here, like I said, I am not talking about the chemicals that are also in there. So they will fall sick today, they'll go to the hospital, they come back, bring the same thing. The following week, they are there. The hospitals become their second home. That tells you how much government is spending on healthcare. All these monies could have been channeled to maybe some infrastructural development, which is being wasted. And there are a lot that I can enumerate. But since people are worried about the water, I just want to end here. The water, not only the ones in the rivers, but those that get into the groundwater system, impact on our human development, and we will not be able to quantify it. If from source, from the first source to where it empties, we'll be talking about some 4,000 or 8,000 kilometers. It tells you the number of people that live there and depend on the water, but they have been deprived of getting that water from Antwerp. These are things that we can help quantify.
Okay.
But we'll be able to stop this because gold cannot be found in any rock. There are certain types of rocks that can host the gold mineralization. So if we are talking about a river like Pra or Fin, there are certain sections of it that these people who are stealing will go. And that should be dictated by what? By the geology. So if we'll be able to mark out these sections, I don't know where you live in Accra, from your home to your office, I'm sure there is a traffic jam somewhere.
Yes.
It is not the entire stretch that is jammed. So if we can go to where the traffic has jammed to see the causes of that, we'll be able to free traffic from there. The same way, the rivers that have been polluted through this act of mining can be checked by the geoscientists that we have. They can mark out and then find out why these people are here polluting the water. Let's allow the experts do their work.
Okay, thank you very much.
And we'll be fine.
I have one last question, then we take your concluding remarks. So we have people suggesting the use of rainwater or harvesting rainwater. What can you say to that? Well, after answering them, we take your closing remarks to the Ghanaian populace watching and listening to us today.
I think I read that one somewhere, and my answer is not the substitute.
Okay.
We are talking about the carbon emission. Okay? So when this carbon in the atmosphere mix with the water that is coming, it becomes what? Acidic. And it's not good for us to drink acid water. So we must always allow the science to direct us. That is why I've been talking about experts. There are people that can make the right suggestions. One of those groups is Ghana Institution of Geosciences. Let's go to them, ask them, this is the problem that the nation is confronted with. What can we do? We need your expert advice. And I think they'll be happy to do so. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Please, we would like to take your closing remarks, or you've added that to the answer.
Yeah, my closing remarks is the mess that we are having in this sector can be addressed if we speak to the right people. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. It was a very, very educative segment here with you today. We are so grateful for your contributions, and we hope you have a good day.
Thank you very much for inviting me in.
All right. You're welcome.
Yes, bye.
So thank you so much, our dear viewers, for staying with us throughout this extension. We don't usually go this long, but we would like to take Mr. Jao's closing remarks, then we wrap up.
Okay, thank you very much. I think Prof stressed on allowing the experts to do their job. But believe you me, the experts have always been with us. There are a lot of policies, there are a lot of research that have been done, but we need that willpower to implement these recommendations and policies to mitigate this menace that we are all fighting. So I would say that we need the authority, the government, to do what is right, and they know it. They have the experts with us, they have the experts with them, and they know what the experts is telling them. The other thing is that we must be deliberate about our health, and let's speak and let's wage that campaign for people to be aware of the dark consequences of engaging in unsafe or illegal mining. Then the other thing will be that we should try to regularize these artisanal people who are engaged and give them the requisite training and logistics to do safe mining.
Okay.
And I think with that, we'll be good to go. Okay. But in the interim, we should ban
illegal mining.
Illegal mining, or skill mining, of course. I mean, we need to recover some areas for now, then we can engage later.
Okay, thank you very, very much. Before I wrap up, we have one more comment here. He says, TA says, in other countries, they will treat this as a national security, but in Ghana, all they do best is looting of state resources. Hey, TA, calm down. But thank you so much. Thank you, Prof, for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Jao, for also joining us. Yeah. This conversation, it looks like we may need to have it again because there's a whole lot to discuss about it. We did a little bit of the health and then the geoscience. We need to talk more on the social and economic, even environmental impacts as well. Thank you so much. And thank you all, my cherished viewers, for staying with us this long, and we will try our best. We promise it will not happen again. Thank you so much to our sponsors, our management, our production team, everybody that's contributed to making this show a success. We are most grateful to you all. We hope that you do have a beautiful day ahead. Up next at 11, we have Clock Sports coming up, and they will be talking about the Ghana versus Sudan match. Me already predicted. I've given up on Ghana Black Stars, but I'm sure some of you still love them. So you can stay tuned to Clock TV when that comes up to watch and then share your thoughts on the highlights as well. Do have an amazing day.
Clog TV. Beyond the policy.